is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Be there, be there, be there. 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 Be there, be there, be there.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and more, where recognition is rewarding.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Alrighty. Hope all is well out there. Good morning. It is Tuesday. Might be afternoon, might be evening, wherever you're at. I don't know where you're watching. And always, we appreciate wherever you're watching, downloading, audio, video, however it is you support our show, sponsors, donations, whatever it is. Thank you. On behalf of Sean and myself, as always, we thank you for all of that. Got a loaded Tuesday again. Obviously, got enough stuff to talk about today, and we'll get through it. A bunch of Dolphin topics, which is great as always. Heat last night, so we got that. Got some music news, Inter Miami news, crypto, all kinds of stuff to talk about. So it's just everywhere, man. We're all over the place. Bunch of entertainment stuff too today, so that's actually pretty cool. Got a bunch of stuff to share with you guys. It's I guess some of it is funny, some of it entertaining, some of it just plain stupidity. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of what our world has, a taste of everything. So lots of stuff to talk about. Last night, obviously, the Heat lost to the Sixers, and there's a reason why the day before I wasn't that excited about beating the Pistons. You know what I mean? Individually, for Bam hitting the three, fantastic. Outside of that, dog shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it took a desperation three to beat a terrible team that's won 10 games this year or whatever, 11 games, 9 games, whatever it is that Detroit's won. You know, they won nothing. They're nothing. And then look, last night, you go there and I know you fought back and you tied in and all that. That doesn't mean shit to me, dude. None of that means shit to me. You know what I'm saying? And Jimmy Butler misses another game. And it's just another example why there cannot be an extension with this guy, because as good as he is, he forces you also to play at the bottom of the playoffs because your team's not good enough. Look, last night, Maxey played like a star. The only person on the court that played like a star. Bam didn't play like a star. Rozier didn't play like a star. The only guy that played like a star was Maxey last night. You know, Bam, in a game where you need to step up, 10 shots. And 8 of 10, super efficient. Like, why aren't you shooting 20, 25 shots, dude? Because it's not in you don't have the balls. He shot 2 of 2 from three-point range. Nothing. And so there's no stars on this team outside of Jimmy. Jimmy's really a number 2 star. He's really not even a number 1. But he's a number 1 here because there's nobody else. There's no 1 or 2 here. Bam plays what Bosch had to do. Bosch had to step back from superstar and become the third wheel. Remember that? That's Bam. He's a third wheel. And, you know, this is an old ass point that I'm fucking tired of making. But this is the reason why you're in the bottom ringer of the playoffs, because your star player can't stay healthy or refuses to play games because he has to pace himself. Like I told you, he's out of gas. He can't carry you anymore. He can only do it for some stretches. So if he starts to play all out now, he has no gas left in the tank for the playoffs. So he knows it. They know it. And this is what happens. And because you have a player that pretty much misses 50 to 60% of the season, not because he physically misses it, it's because he either misses it or when he plays sometimes he doesn't give a shit either. He's just going through the motions. So we're just kind of, man, you know what we have to hope for? The same thing we've hoped for every year. Hope that Spo just gets it going in the playoffs and puts it together, and these guys, you know, give us another overachieving performance in the playoffs. But, you know, I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up your ass and try to talk about heat and titles and all that bullshit. They're not winning jack shit with this team. Okay? Nothing. You'll never win if you don't have multiple stars. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. And what Spoelstra's done, it just proves he's the best coach in the league, because look what he has to work with, and he still gets the max out of it. The maximum that you could possibly get out of these guys, he gets every single season out of what he is given. But there are no stars on this team. It's all a bunch of role players. Some of them, one guy might be a super role player, but, you know, it's the same old shit, dude. And any player that doesn't have the star around and is the number 2 or number 3 guy goes, oh, this is my time to take over. That's what that's what a star thinks inside. It's not that you're selfish, but you have to be kind of selfish. And it's not that you're being self-centered. You're still being in a selfless way. But the real truth is, it's what Doug Collins, most of you are too young for this, but half of you at least are old enough for it. And Doug Collins describing a play for Michael Jordan was, well, it was give the ball to Michael and get the fuck out of the way. And they beeped the fuck. Not here, but, you know, in a soundbite. And everybody started laughing because that's what a star is. And unfortunately, last night, Maxey was the only guy that wanted to play like a star because he went out and shot 24 times. And he said, no, I'm going to do whatever it takes. 3 of 10 from three-point range, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. And then the guy also had 8 rebounds and a block. Kelly Oubre, okay, had 22 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and he had 5 blocks. The number 3 guy played better than our number 2 guy. Okay? I mean, you know, this is just, it's the same stuff over and over again. And their failure, unfortunately, is not to trade for that other star. And listen, it's not their fault this offseason. I got to blame it on Damian Lillard because he's such a wuss. He easily could have stuck to his guns and told Portland to go screw themselves, and I'm not going to Milwaukee, or trading me to Miami, or I'm not going, and make hell for that guy. He could have pulled a James Harden, but he's a complete wussy. That's one thing I've learned about Damian Lillard. You might be a tough guy on the court, but off the court, you're a fucking wimp, dude. Like, you are a wuss. You are a wuss of all wusses. You never made a stink there towards the end of Portland. You didn't make a stink when you wanted to go to Miami. You got no balls, bro. You got balls in fantasy land in basketball, Damian Lillard. You got no balls in life, dude. Get out of my face. So I don't blame the Heat for this last offseason. I blame him more on Damian Lillard, who wears a skirt and doesn't wear pants. Okay? So that little girl can go play in Milwaukee if she wants. All right? And go have fun over there. So I don't really care about Mrs. Lillard out there. You know, she got no balls anyways. Yeah, if you're going to play for the Heat, you got to have some balls, bro. You got to have guts. Damian Lillard's not built for the Heat. I can already tell. You know what I'm saying? So, see ya. That's good. I don't blame the Heat for that, but I do blame the Heat overall. Overall, they're a fantastic franchise. They're the best in town, but they've fallen behind now. because they can't make deals. And so they have to unearth talent from out of nowhere and then develop it. And, that's kind of who they are now. But they have, they only got a star because nobody really wanted that star. And remember all that bullshit that Jimmy was going to recruit a star? Bullshit. Jimmy can't recruit a star. The best star that Jimmy can recruit is Kyle Lowry. So everybody that told you Jimmy was going to recruit a star was wrong. Okay? And by the way, I hope all those people that wrote all those articles locally, nationally, I hope the talking heads that talked about it and said, oh, no, Jimmy, no, people want to come play with Jimmy. No, they don't. I don't know why, because he's the most passive star we've ever had here. The most selfless star we've ever had here. It's the weirdest thing, because he's the perfect guy to be a 2 for a 1. Because he does not want to hog it unless he has to. You know what I mean? He takes over because nobody else on the team has any balls to take over. So he sits around going, is anybody going to take over? Huh? Because Wade can go, oh, Shaq, you're going to take over. Okay, great. Awesome. Oh, LeBron, you're going to take over. Okay, great. Oh, Bosh, it's your night. Okay, great. Awesome. You've unloaded a burden on me. For Jimmy, there's no burden ever unloaded. He's just bouncing around going, anybody else got balls? Anybody? Bam. Do you want to step up? Do you want to be the guy that takes 25, 30 shots? You want to carry it? Oh, you don't. Okay. Passive Bam. I got you. Okay. Tyler? Oh, he's in the ambulance. Okay. Where am I going? Oh, it's just me. This is the same shit. It's the same shit. So, we just got to hope for another overachieving offseason, postseason by Spo. And that's it, dude, So, unfortunately, this is how it goes. But last night you needed a star, and there were no stars to be found, So, stop with, I'm tired of crushing the Bam people. I'm tired of it already. Just like I was tired of crushing Tyler. Finally, my man Ira gave in already. Okay? He's still fighting the Bam fight, which that's another, after all these years. Come on, bro. How much time are we going to wait? How much? He is what he is. He's a super role player. And that's about it. Last night, you needed a star. Maxey was the only guy that chose to say, yeah, I'm going to take over. I'm going to be the guy. And Kelly Oubre, by the way, the best 2 players were on that side of the court. And you played a game without Embiid on the court. So it's like this is the opportunity for you when Jimmy's out. And nobody takes over. Nobody says, this is my team. Nobody. It's the weirdest thing, dude. Really is. Anyway, David Furones will join us at 10:30. Talk a little Dolphins. Manny Navarro will stop by at 11. Let's do a little roll call. Joseph is in first. Thank you, sir. Looking forward to a great show, he says. Well, I hope I can live up to it. Captain Saki is out in Tarpon Springs kicking some ass. Kyle Cockrell says some nice buying opportunities right now. Oh, yeah. Still 63, 62, 847 right now. I think this is fantastic. This is like the final push for some of you right now, I think. But hey, listen, this is what I would tell you about crypto. This is all you need to know. Okay. I'm going to teach you a little something here. Okay. I'm going to teach you a little something, and I want you to check this out. This is a Bitcoin chart. If you can, Sean, take off the Top Gun, and let's show the folks. This is the first on the 2016-17 bull market and bull run, and the first halving. You had a correction of 43, 40, 34, 30, 40, 41, 30. The next bull run in 2021, that's right when I got in, right in this bull run here in 20. You had corrections of 23, 15, 32, 23, and 26% on your way to 67,000. Okay, to kind of make you feel like this is normal. You don't panic, you buy it. So far now in the 2023 bull market where we're at, we've had a 22, a 20, a 22, a 22, and a 15% correction. Are you noticing anything on the three different halvings that we've had? Are you looking at the numbers? It was in the 40s and the 30s in the first one. It was in the 20s, just one in the 30s in the second one. And this one is all in the 20s and one in the teens. More institutional money's coming in, less volatility. What have we been telling you that was going to happen? Exactly that. It won't be 40% corrections. This is pretty close to what you're going to correct. And then it's going to explode again. It only goes in one direction. Look where it was in 2016 and look where it is now in 2024. Do not get fudded, scared, nervous, twitched, whatever it is, whatever adjective you want to use to describe your uneasiness on a dip. Stay strong. Buy. Keep going. We're not even close to the top of this bull market yet. And we've already surpassed the all-time high by $6,000. Okay? So the 73 that they were at, 73.7, I think, is the record right now. It's going to, when it boomerangs, it's going to catapult right past that thing into 75.80. So again, learn what's going on, understand what's going on. And this is the depressing part about all of this. I'm going to show you something else again now. Here we go. This is the depressing part about what's going on. And I'm trying to walk you off the ledge here. Okay. Here you go. So yesterday, Grayscale had the biggest outflow they've had all so far throughout this bull run. They ended up selling 9,486 Bitcoin. That's why it's been, down. Look at what Michael Saylor did. He went and bought 9,245. This is not including BlackRock, ARK Investments, Fidelity, all the other ones buying. So obviously they bought more. But guess what's happening now? People are panicking. The average person's panicking. Not the rich people, not the smart people, not the powerful people. They're not panicking. They're buying. And so right now, the biggest outflows that are going is you, the average person, because you're getting scared. I just explained it to you. Don't need to get scared. You don't need to worry. I just showed it to you how the corrections are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. The next 4 years from now, what do you think those corrections are going to be? 8%, 10%? They'll be in single digits. Now it's in the teens. It's, I keep explaining it to you, and when you start seeing it in several $100,000 down the line, a year or two from now, and you watch this show, and you're going to go, shit, he was talking about this from the get-go. He talked about this when it was $16,000. So I'm just giving you the facts of what really goes on. It's just there's a lot of people out there that don't follow this, don't understand it. In the media especially, most of them that are writing or on television or the producers that are feeding information to the host, they're complete idiots when it comes to crypto and Bitcoin. They don't know, they don't invest, so they don't follow it, so they don't understand it. So then if there's a 10, 12% drop that we have now, they're freaking out, or 15 or whatever it is. And they think the world is over. And it's like, no, dude, this is nothing. This is an opportunity is what it is. And I'm not a financial advisor. Never have been, never will be a financial advisor. But, so I'm just telling you what I'm going to do. It's up to you guys, whatever you want to do. Let's see what we got here. Steven Gonzalez is in. Restructuring Chubb. Let's just sign players. We'll get to that. Stephen Harris is in. Steve Chapman. Jay Gelfin is in. Let's talk about Bam continuing to grow. No, he's not. He's the same guy. Come on, Jay. Come on. Miles Deep is in. Omar Lopez. Joseph Fontina. And by the way, somebody grows. What's this, like year 7 or 6? I'm too old to keep waiting 14 years or something for him to, Joseph Fontina. Let's see. He says, a long-time buddy. Well, thank you, Joseph. I appreciate you. Manolo Rivera. I'm feeling great, dude. I'm feeling great. I'm walking around. Foot is, looks good. It's nice and skinny. So all of the swelling is gone. I'm walking around with the cane. I can actually take steps without the cane. So it's actually pretty cool. But it's not suggested that I do that. I have to use the cane because I can't put all the weight on it. It's just like little weight on it and then quickly, But everything's good, man. Everything, I can't complain. I should be, maybe I'll probably drive on Thursday to Hialeah Park. So that'll be pretty cool. That'll be another step forward for me. Thursday, I go to treatment, get some therapy, and then hopefully, and then drive over to Hialeah Park. Oh man, incomplete. If you don't light up the Eiffel Tower, the show's really not on if the Eiffel Tower is not on. Okay, now we're on. Nyborg in, Gus 1388, Sharon Calderon, Jeff from Long Island, in other words, Lisa Rose, Alexis, Billy Shaw, Think Blue Dodgers, Finns Nation UK Fan Club, Giovanni, Brian Landis, Ray Sosa. That made me sick seeing Kyle Lowry in those shots that put the game away. Huh? What can I tell you, bro? Cosa Nostra, Crypto Finns. It's my favorite free agent pickup so far. Jordan Brooks. Yeah, probably the linebacker, Jordan Brooks. Because they've improved their linebackers the last couple of years with Long and Brooks now. Big time. So, yeah, I'll go with that. It's probably my favorite pickup of them all. Johnny D, Daniel Amador, Billy Shaw. Let's see. Tua time. Yep, Jimmy Butler taking days off. Let's see. Yes, Johnny D, they cleared a bunch of space. We'll talk about that. Lenny Pena, Dude 67, Cap for Life. DJ Ozone. No, Bam. DJ, I don't think we should look at Bam as a letdown. Bam is a hell of a player, but he is what he is. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. He's a hell of a player, just not a great player. He's not a superstar. He's not a franchise player. Just not. He's a super important player that you need, like many other players in the history of the game, that you have to have on your team. He's incredibly important because he does all the role stuff you need. But what you see, you guys are disappointed in Bam. I'm not disappointed in Bam. I know who Bam is, and I'm fine with it. Where they picked him in the middle of the first round to what he turned out to be, it's a hell of a pick. Okay? When you pick a guy, what is it, 13, I think it was, right? Or 14, whatever it was. Normally, it's not a superstar. So he's not a superstar. Normally, it's not a franchise player. He's not a franchise player. But you could get a really good player. Well, they got a very good player at 13. Okay? The guy that is a bust, actually, is Tyler Hero. That's the guy you got to be disappointed in. You should not be. Your problem with Bam, if you're disappointed, is that you're not realistic. Okay? So that's on you. I blame all of you, including Jay Gelfin. Okay? Growing and all. He's the same guy. He hasn't changed. He's the same passive person. He refuses to do what you saw Maxey do last night. He refuses. He took 10 shots in a game they needed a star to step forward. 10 shots. He hasn't grown a goddamn bit. And so, as much as I love all of you out there, including Jay, who's a friend of mine, I would tell you all, you're the problem. He's not a star. He's not a franchise player. He never will be a franchise player. He never will be a star. Stop it already. So my beef is usually with all of you out there. Not with Bam. I'm fine with Bam. I never say trade him. I always say you need him. I want him. I would just keep reiterating, stop expecting a star because he's not a star. He has no star quality in him. Not his attitude and not his play. Stars carry themselves one way. Stars play another way. He does neither. He is humble. He is a servant. He is a role player. He is there to support. He is not there to lead. And this is proven over and over and over and over and over and over again. And aberrations don't make it reality. So if one game he has 27 points or something, big freaking deal. Duncan Robinson had 30 the other night. Big freaking deal. Doesn't mean you're a superstar. Doesn't mean you're a franchise player. But it certainly doesn't mean you should be disappointed. The guy had 20 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. I know he had 4 turnovers, but whatever. He had a hell of a game last night. Okay? He had his typical type of game, a very good game. In an offensive league that doesn't play a lot of defense, this is what it is. Okay? You're the problem. Stop thinking, stop arguing, stop trying to make a case for Bam Adebayo as a franchise or a superstar player. You're the problem. Okay? And if anybody in the Heat is selling that, you shouldn't buy it. Agree. That's why reality needs to hit this team hard when they realize a big move needs to be made once and for all. But they can't. They have no firepower for it. The Heat doesn't have it, unfortunately. Give Spo the ultimate team, and I need to see it if he can win with a loaded team. He's already won with a loaded team. Who is this guy? Give Spo that ultimate team again. I need to see if he can win with a loaded team. You need to see. You're looking to get blocked. Do you understand, J Miami Sports? I don't put up with dumbasses on this thing here. You need to see. He gets to the finals without any number 1 stars. He gets to the finals with a number 2 broken down star. That's a 2-point player. If I ever catch you with another dumbass comment, you're out of here, J Miami Sports. You got that, dumbass? Man, there's some stupid people in this world. I need to see if he can win with a loaded team again. He almost beat the Lakers if it wasn't for maybe Dragon and Bam being broken down at that moment. Que clase come mierda. All right, Sweet Baby Ray is in there. XJ is in there. Stephen Harris, Pipe Man Slim, Ryan AP. Robin Hood ads are hilarious. Don't ever use Robin Hood for crypto, please. I agree, Big O, to some extent about Bam, but at the same time, the other players have to pass him the ball. Please, dude. Stars demand the ball and tell you to get the hell out of the way, bro. That's an excuse, MM. Please. No. Stars grab the ball from you and say, get the hell out of the way. And you know what? Everyone else knows Stars taking over. Bam refuses to take over, bro. It's up to him to just, As they would as this guy would do in that porn movie. What's the name of a porn movie, bro, with this guy that was famous, but it wasn't a real porn. Like, you didn't see the porn. It was, what's the name of this famous actor that was playing like a big porn star and all that? You know what I'm talking about? That scene where you got to like display the goods. Well, that's what Bam Adebayo's got to do. That's it. What's the name of the damn movie? Anyway, somebody will help me out with that one. What is it? Dirk Diggler.
Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights.
Exactly. Thank you. That's it. You got a Dirk Diggler the bitch. I'm here and get the hell out of my way. And he doesn't do that. Okay. Okay. Hey, you can block J Miami Sports already there, bro. You can get rid of that clown already. J Miami Sports. We don't need stupidity here. Bam didn't even ask for the ball when he came back late in the fourth quarter. It's so frustrating for a fan. No, but don't be frustrated. That's who he is. That's who he is. Bam is a great role player, similar to Lamar Odom. Kobe, when Lakers would dominate, Spo is worth every penny for keeping Heat relevant all these years post the big three. Keep up the best show, Big O. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Let's see. Jermaine, I see. Robert T is in. Right. Bam is an all-star. I'm no problem with that. All-stars aren't superstars. They're not franchise players. I'm totally with that. He's an all-star. He has no business ever being called a superstar or a franchise player. None whatsoever. In fact, I think if you call Bam a franchise player or superstar, I kind of question your basketball knowledge. It's what I have to do, unfortunately. Yeah, it's kind of the way I look at it. Stars take over. So, unfortunately, that's not his thing. You know what I'm saying? So, it's really all on you guys. All right, let's do it. Let's talk a little football. Let's get to it with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with the one and only David Furones.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session. Welt and Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
Right. How you doing, my man? You doing good?
I'm doing well, holding up over here. Busy week all last week, and then even through the weekend and early this week, got some restructures getting done. So cap space, all the cap gymnastics, aerobics that the Dolphins have to work through, and meeting some of these players too. A lot of interviews we had yesterday.
Yeah. No, I saw a lot of the interviews yesterday, and I like a lot of the guys they brought in, man. I think it's a lot of character guys. They brought in a lot of workers, a lot of guys that are support players, and I think it's something that was needed on this team because you just can't be top heavy, and maybe that's what the Dolphins were a little too much. They were a little too top heavy. Now you still have your stars, but now you've got maybe more supporting players, and maybe that brings a little bit more balance, to what you need. In the end, you're still going to need Chubb and Phillips to get back because those are two key stars that you have to have back. But once you do get them back, you might have a more well-rounded roster, actually.
Yeah, you need both, right? You need the top heavy, you need your stars at the top, of course, but then you need a balanced roster as well. So that's what a real contender is. That's how you find it. And you talk about the character leadership that this team is bringing in. We were talking about Jordan Brooks and how impressed we were watching his interview. And he's one of the guys that, aside from him, there are so many guys that were captains at their previous spot And I think I'm not sure. I don't think he was even one of them. So I know that a lot of if you look at pictures of these guys with their past teams, whether it's Poyer, whether it's Anthony Walker, and at least someone, Kendall Fuller also, all of them had C's on their chests from their previous destination. So a lot of previous captaincies that now, I mean, even Jordan Brooks, who maybe wasn't in Seattle, but we kind of see those qualities in him as a fifth-year player changing teams. So I think that's something that they're looking for when they find these guys is the type of character that they're bringing in to the organization.
Yeah, and to me, it's what I've been explaining. Look, they made a decision. This wave of players to them is not as important as the next wave of players. They can't sign them all. So, it's funny because, I still have people, we shouldn't let Wilkins go. And I said, well, if you sign Wilkins, what if that ended up costing you Holland next year? What if that ended up costing you Waddle next year? What if that ends up costing you Phillips next year? What if that ends up costing you another player that's actually really important? And, and then some of them would say, well, no, I still rather have Wilkins. And then some say, oh, okay, I understand. But to me, that's what's pretty obvious. Where they said, okay, here's the wave of picks that we hit on. Well, we're going to have to make the tough decision of focusing on the next wave of players, not this wave of players. And then, now we're going to have a little bit more flexibility after that because the following 2 years, you didn't have a ton of draft picks.
Yeah, I think you operate with that understanding that when you do stack your roster over several drafts, that you're not going to be able to keep everyone that you once had. Like the Patriots for 20 years, they didn't sustain success by just keeping all their players that they hit on. They had to let guys go. Always were bringing in new guys through the draft. So that is how you sustain success in the NFL, is always bringing in the next group of guys. So the Dolphins had a lot of decisions to make, and certainly the future decisions in the next couple of years played into who they decided they could or couldn't bring back in this offseason. So it certainly hurts at times. I mean, I don't think the Dolphins were going to be paying anything near what Christian Wilkins got, what Robert Hunt got, but Andrew Van Ginkel, it hurt to see him go, especially given that Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb are coming off their injuries. But like Shaq Barrett, he's a veteran that you could get although he hasn't produced as much in the last couple of years as he has the years prior to that, and when he was helping the Bucs get to that 2020 Super Bowl, but still a veteran that you could try to bring that back out of. And then he's a guy that if one of those guys, Phillips and Chubb, they're still on the PUP to start, he can start for the at the beginning of the season, and then he can be part of this rotation. It's really going to be a monster if all of them are healthy at the same time.
Right. And I tweeted that out yesterday that if of course it's an if, you got to get Chubb and Phillips back. But if they get back by the end of the season, maybe you start seeing Phillips and Chubb kind of themselves. And with Shaq, that'll be a nice rotation, man. That'll be something. And it'll help, Phillips and Chubb to have him there, part of that rotation. And maybe you can, unload some of that, some of the reps too at the same time. And listen, the unknown is also there. There might be somebody there that might be developing that might end up becoming that fourth guy that we didn't count on also. That's the other thing that we have to leave open. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of unknown about how much better they could be this year or worse. Who knows?
Yeah. Right, and you have to leave it open to the possibility of an edge rusher in the first or second round with those draft picks that they have. And maybe even if there's some trade, some maneuvering where they add some draft capital and you can afford yourself maybe a lineman with an edge rusher, or if you're looking for a receiver, whatever the case may be. So, it'll be a really nice rotation, especially what you mentioned with the distribution of reps and snaps, so that coming off their injuries, their respective injuries for Phillips and Chubb, maybe they don't have to have that big of a workload where, you normally wouldn't want to see them get off the field at all, but you can sort of ease them into a greater snap count week to week as they do progress throughout the season. And then a guy like Shaq Barrett really affords you that possibility.
All right. Jack Driscoll was added yesterday. You tell me, what does this mean for Kendall Lamb?
Yeah, I'm wondering the same thing because Jack Driscoll is predominantly a tackle. So you think of him as that predominantly swing tackle. He can play both the left and right tackle spots, but he also has experience at guard, so a very versatile lineman. But it's telling though that Kendall Lamb has not had that situation settled, and then Jack Driscoll has been brought in from the outside. So which was interesting because last year Kendall Lamb was at the top of the list. He was a first day of free agency that they settled that and brought him back, even when he was just about a
radar
month with the team from 2022. Right.
Yeah, but still on the radar.
Yeah,
At that point, he had not played like he played last year. And so now his value obviously has gone up, especially to the Dolphins, because that's the other thing. He might be a free agent, but other teams might say, yeah, he may not fit our system nearly as well or whatever because he's bounced around the league. And so he only had success here for this one season. So it's kind of hard to sell to other teams. So, Miami still, I think, has a chance at bringing him back because other teams may look at it like maybe he doesn't play as well in our system like he did with them. You there? Did we lose him?
I lost you. I lost you there for a little bit, but I got bits and pieces of what you were saying. The value of Kendall Lamb.
Yeah, like right now, Kendall is really important to the Dolphins, but another team may not look at him the same way, and so maybe that's why he's still kind of out there in free agency because we're seeing the second wave of linemen signing now, and he's not one of them so far. So you wonder, is he having trouble getting the price that he wants after the year he had? And I know he's towards the back end of his career, so he's trying to make as much as he can.
Yeah, there's that, right? I mean, this is a very important free agency for himself because of where he stands, his age, and I remember sort of the reputation he had, like January 1st of the season before when they were playing the Patriots at New England. Kendall Lamb had to start in that game. And I remember sort of some of the other media, not the Dolphins beat reporters, but other guys, whether they were national guys or maybe Patriots writers, saying, "Oh, Kendall Lamb is starting." Well, and whatever they knew about him from before, they thought, "Oh, well, the Patriots are going to feast against him," and he was holding up pretty well. He got injured in that game, I think, or was it the other way? Did he have to go in for someone else? No, I think he was in for Armstead, and then he also got injured. Yes. But he was holding up fairly well, and then it was telling how the Dolphins prioritize him in the next free agency, sort of like, hey, we know what we got here. And then, yes, he definitely did boost his stock with how he was able to fill in for Armstead pretty consistently and during multiple stints in the past season. So, but still, he's still out there. So still a situation where it's not like any other team has jumped on him, but the Dolphins just jumped on Jack Driscoll. So possibly something that gets settled here in the coming days.
And Isaiah Wynn brought back, so he was playing well until he got injured. So I'm sure he's going to be battling for that left guard spot now.
Yeah. That would be the ideal scenario or what you expect. The Dolphins really liked what they had out of him, especially the way he won that spot. It was open competition last training camp, and Isaiah Wynn to be able to win that one in one that was really pretty open between Liam Eichenberg, Robert Jones was also in there. I know I'm missing someone that Lester Cotton was competing at that spot. So he won it to begin with, and then all those other guys, they still had to start at some point and prove formidable in that role. But Isaiah Wynn was that one to win it from the start. So that quadriceps injury was unfortunate for him. 7 games in, what was a good year for him to cut that 2023 season short. But now he'll get another chance to pick up right where he left off.
Is Keon Smith the next Kendall Lamb?
I
was a big Keon fan in training camp, and I thought he should make the roster, and I was right. He did make the roster. And he, even when he played, he had a little bit of a playing time. He actually did all right. This reminds me of the Kendall Lamb situation, that they kind of liked Lamb, and so they kept him right away and developed him, and sure enough, he came in clutch. They've done the same thing with Keon Smith now, okay? This is a couple years now that they're going to be working with him. They must love something about him, dude, and if you watch him, he has grown. And so I'm actually, really intrigued for this training camp for Keon Smith, because Linemen are weird, bro. Don't ever judge a lineman when they switch teams or because they were drafted here and they were bust here and then they go somewhere else. This is the weirdest position of all in the NFL. Guys find their way years in. Guys find their scheme finally, or the right coach, or whatever it is, or just grow into the position mentally, physically. Lineman is the weirdest thing out there. And if you think you're going to project and predict how linemen are going to play, you're out of your mind. And you should already see it with Kendall Lamb and Isaiah Wynn and watching Austin Jackson, Liam Eichenberg before this coaching staff with the other coaching staff and now with this coaching staff. You should see that. So for me, Keon Smith is kind of like this wild card that could actually turn out to be a decent player for this team next year.
Yeah, there's so many examples on the Dolphins' own roster, and it was part of the reason why last offseason Mike McDaniel was not ready to just give up on an Austin Jackson, on a Liam Eichenberg, on all these guys. So you need to give them time in a system. You need to give them it might be a new system that they need to be in. The Dolphins finally have continuity with now. It's going to be a third year of same head coach who was offensive minded, same offensive coordinator, and then a second year with the same offensive line coach and Butch Berry, although they were already running the system even when they had Matt Applebaum the year before, and it was a lot of continuity for the Jacksons, Eichenbergs, Robert Jones, everyone else.
The coaching style and the demands and all that is completely different. You know, that's a vibe, everything, you know, from Barry to who was the other guy? I forgot now.
Applebaum.
Right. Yeah. Applebaum. It's completely different, dude. You know what I mean? So it's a players sense the difference between Applebaum and Barry right away. But, and by the way, they've earned the benefit of the doubt for the first time in 20-something, 30 years, 40 years or whatever. An offensive line coaching staff has earned the benefit of the doubt with their players. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. You feel that. Well, what's it been? I mean, like a decade at least, right? More than that.
Decades.
Yeah. Decades.
I don't remember the last time that we had like a really good offensive coaching staff. It may be in Jimmy's early days or something.
Yeah.
It's been a while, dude. It's been a while. Really has.
Yeah, it is a nice feeling to know that, okay, I can trust this offensive staff and specifically the development of offensive linemen finally after what we saw last year. Different guys coming in due to injury and not missing too much of a step. You know, at some point it catches up to you when you have too many stack up, but and maybe we saw it toward the end of the year, but really, this is kind of the first time where you have that feeling in a long time where, all right, I trust what's going on this offensive line, and they're going to develop. And a guy like Keon Smith, who they liked last training camp, who made the team, that they continued to develop, then you got to like that he's in good hands here. Yeah,
exactly. And he's young. You know what I mean? It's kind of like the Jordan Brooks thing I'm really excited about because this is a guy that he's still young. You can actually have this guy for several years as a really good player for you. That's how this turns out to be a really good free agent pickup because it's something that you can actually build on. And with Keon, again, he's a baby. My God, if you developed it, you're going to have this guy for double-digit years. So let's hope that Keon, who's kind of overlooked, might be one of those under-the-radar guys that ends up, really contributing. So what do you think happens now? Because they've kind of left themselves open, right? They can pick an offensive lineman. They can pick a D lineman, a tackle, an edge rusher. Hell, they could go for a receiver. They could even go for a corner again if they really want to go crazy and say, all right, we want to make sure we have as many corners as possible, out there. They've left themselves pretty flexible overall, that they're not forced to take a pass rusher and they're not forced to take the offensive lineman. They kind of can go either way or maybe even a third spot in that first round.
Yeah, I think that's how Chris Greer likes to go into a draft because he has this best player available model and mentality. So he never wants to be forced into a position. And even if the roster were such, I still think he wouldn't. If he has a player at a position where he doesn't have a need, I still think, and he has them charted much higher than a player at a position that he does need, that's the best one at that position, he would still go BPA when that draft pick comes. So I think that's how the Dolphins every March, especially in years where they are contending like this, will want to go into the draft where you're not drafting to fill a hole per se. You just want to draft whoever you think is the best player and then give that guy time to develop. It's not like he has to get thrown into a position where he has to contribute right away. And hey, even like a Cam Smith was like that, where you had your cornerback position set, and then even as different injuries occurred, you didn't get to see him on the field, and Vic Fangio in the system and whatever was happening there, that dynamic probably played a part in it. But now new coaching at the top of the defensive staff, see if you develop him. And then that's something where maybe that could turn into a valuable asset for the Dolphins, even though he only played his 20 defensive snaps as a rookie, as a second-round pick.
All right. They reworked Chubb's deal to open up $13.75 million. What do you think happens? Is that to pay off some of these players and then you have some cap space for another free agent or two?
Yeah, a lot of the free agents that we already know about haven't really been accounted yet as far as their cap numbers on, if you look up on like the over the cap side on Spot Rack or Spotrack, I don't know how you pronounce it, but Spotrack, okay, confirmed, it's Spotrack. Yeah, especially down here when we have Eric Spoelstra as a Heat head coach. Yeah, we should go with that pronunciation for sure. So I think a lot of those contracts still have to be accounted for on the books. So that was sort of some of the maneuvering, but it still leaves them a little bit more leeway for another potential addition or two, or even some smaller contract guys that they were going to pursue anyway. And then obviously big payday comes in June, the post-June 1 money from Xavier Howard. But for now, you get a little bit more room to maneuver in free agency, fit all the guys that you already did agree with. And then you'll also have the signing class that you need to, or the draft class that you need to sign. And you can even wait once you draft them to do that in June and such. But then also a nice chunk of change comes, $18.5 million post-June 1.
You surprised they didn't go to Tyreek for any cap space?
Yeah, I mean it's there available to them if they want. Now, there was a lot going on with Tyreek as well. So, yeah, there's things to think about, and even with Chubb, there was a lot to consider there. No.
I get the injury there, but we're talking character now. It's different. You know what I mean? I'll give you an example. You know what went on with Chubb? I kind of have a feeling already. One, you saw when he got injured, first of all, you saw Mike McDaniel walk over there and, was like, he was remorseful about the whole thing and all that stuff. And now they've watched him all offseason rehab and how serious he's taking the rehab and how much progress he's making the rehab. And so you get to see the professionalism of a player at his worst moment. And then that makes you feel as an organization that you can trust him. It's kind of like when the Dolphins, when they signed Brent Grimes off of an Achilles injury, people are like, well, how can you do that? And I go, no. You don't know Brent Grimes. Brent Grimes is a quality individual. Forget about the wife stuff and all that. Brent Grimes is a quality individual, a pro's pro. And I said, don't worry about the Achilles injury. That's the kind of dude that takes injury the same way he takes the game, serious and professional, and he's going to recover from it as much as anybody could for 100%. And I think that's what it is with Chubb, that they know they have a quality human being and a professional, and so they're willing to take that chance because they trust his professionalism. When it comes to Tyreek Hill, there is no professionalism. You cannot trust him anymore. He has no credibility. All right. And so really you're in a really rock and a hard place. And by the way, Waddle's salary, his big salary, takes over in 2 years, because once you give him the salary next year, you know how it is. It'll be a smaller salary, but then it goes up. That's when you need to move away from Tyreek after 2 seasons. This season coming up and next season, then you release him and Waddle takes over as the 1. So I think it's a lot about Chubb's character. And then Tyreek, I mean, right now would not be smart to guarantee any money to him and force you to keep him longer than 2 more years. Right now, you better hope that he can stay away from trouble for the next 2 years.
Yeah, and you have Jalen Waddle's 5th-year option that you'll sign up for. Obviously, once that time comes later this offseason, and Tyreek Hill, well, he has even mentioned year 10. You go back to last year; he has mentioned year 10 as a target or retirement date as well. Over time, how much does he stick with that, et cetera, then that's to be determined. But
again, his word means shit.
Yes, we've seen that from several interviews, definitely.
I'm sorry. It's what he's earned. Yeah, unfortunately, everything's a lie. Everything's a lie. And so, he still lied about the divorce filing.
Right.
Like, you think we're stupid or something? Just say what happened.
Right. That's something that's easily verifiable via public records, Tyreek. We are aware.
You lie about how it happened? Come on, dude. And you're really firing people for your actions?
And that's why, I remember mid-season, they were coming off the bye week, and then Tyreek Hill, when he decided to get married with Keita Vaccaro, and then explaining his thought process, he was saying that he's a changed man, this and that. And we were kind of wondering, okay, what exactly is he talking about? Now, then you saw a lot of the news, because a lot of it was backlogged. A lot of the things that have happened were before that moment. But then even this latest incident, that was after that moment. This is this offseason. This is as recently as late January. What was it? It was, I mean, that's after he said the first time he's going to be a changed man. And then you see him on the pivot, and he's still talking about that. I mean, I hope for his sake it's true this time. Just, you don't know how many more times you can just expect to hear it from him without seeing the action.
Right. And from now on with Tyreek, it's about actions, not about words anymore.
Yeah.
So just stay out of trouble, dude. You know, just stay out. He has an anger issue. There's no doubt about it. And I said that in the Pier incident. I expressed it there. I said it, that they had to stop him 2 other times to attack that guy. So the IG model thing, I believe her more than him right now until I actually see the court case or something. You know, it's funny how there's video of this. How come it never came out? I guess nobody on her side filmed it. Anyway, so come on, dude. You know, it's just this is just out of control. And if you're the Dolphins, you cannot guarantee him any more money. I know you got to go. What do you got working on the Sun Sentinel? Quickly.
Yeah. More just these new free agents, getting to know them, putting out stories. We're going to talk to Anthony Walker here pretty soon. So Miami Homecoming, I'll write about him. And then next week you go into owners meetings. So that'll be fun. All the coaches talk.
Is it beach?
Orlando.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we'll hear from all the coaches. So kind of the first time you hear from everyone about all their offseason moves in that first wave of free agency.
All right. Follow him on Twitter at David Furonis _ and subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, as always, thank you, my brother.
Yes,
we'll
sir.
Talk later on the week. Appreciate you. There you go. And Welton Realm. I know. You know what Jeff Welt is doing right now? He's buying a bunch of Bitcoin. And any of the altcoins that have dropped, he's probably looking at. I know him now. He's probably looking at Van Chain. He's probably looking at a little Neutron. You know, Jeff Welt, Daniel Realm. They are just an absolute monster pair. These are superstars. These are franchise players. Bam Adebayo has nothing on Jeff Welt and Daniel Realm. Daniel Realm's also a stunt pilot. I mean, this is just a cool group of guys. Jeff Welt's a big rocker too, loves music, an 80s guy also. So if you're into alternative music, he's into that also. 954-966-4433. 4646, bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. Folks, more than ever, you need to hire the right lawyers now, because our governor didn't, when he cut the new deals with the insurance companies, he put us at a disadvantage. So make sure you hire the right lawyers, because if you hire the wrong ones, you are going to end up on the short end. Call Welton Rayom. And by the way, the consultation is completely free. Okay. So if you think you have a case, you have a case, whatever it is, you want to explain it, the conversation's free. And then Jeff will tell you, you have a case, you don't have a case. One of our listeners, this is how cool Jeff is. Okay. It's not good for their business, but I just want to tell you what kind of a human being Jeff is. Okay. One of our listeners called, explained their situation, says, I don't work this specific kind of law, but I do have I do know a friend that has a law firm and is very good at it. And he led him over to the right person, at least. That's class, man. And that's what you're going to deal with Daniel Rayom and Jeffrey Welt. They know how to get it done. Jeff Welt and Daniel are awesome, dude. 954-966-4646. Save it on that cell phone, just in case. You may not need it now, but you might need it in a week, a month, a year from now. And you're going to go, hey, what's that? Who are those guys that O talks about? And you will have it on your phone already. Welt and Rayom, 954-966-4646. Hour number 2 is next. Manny Navarro. We talk Canes.
This has been another session of the Welton Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Canes Wear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro, exclusively on a Big O radio show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
All right. How you feeling, baby?
Doing good. Oh, how are you?
Excellent. Can't complain, man. So the portal for Larinaga is getting a little crazy, huh?
Yeah, five guys, I guess, on their way out. But when you lose your last 10 games and you play as bad as you do, you kind of don't care, right? As long as it's not your best players. And I don't think any of these guys are guys that are considered serious losses.
Yeah. And the football team's also experiencing transfer portal stuff.
This is a new world we live in. It's going to happen. And I knew the moment Miami went out and got 6th and 7th scholarship running backs that this was likely the scenario when they signed those 2 freshmen in the spring. You're going to lose guys. I think you have sort of the perfect example here of Henry Parrish, who led the team in rushing the last 2 years. Wasn't necessarily a dominant back, but a guy who saw the other guys coming. He saw the other guys coming. Yeah, he was solid, and he also saw the other guys coming. He sees Mark Fletcher. He knows that Miami's going to be looking in the portal for another guy now in the spring transfer window period. So it's the business of free agency in college sports now, man. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, and he knows Fletcher's better.
Yeah. and he's more of, and Fletcher's more of what Mario wants. When you're going to go 3 and 4 wide with this offense, and you're single back there, and you might run the ball with Cam Ward less than you did last year because he can make so many things happen for you with his arm. There's going to be fewer opportunities. So this guy wants to take off and go find somewhere else to play, which is his right.
Yeah, no, I totally understand what he's trying to do. And how is Fletcher doing, by the way?
Yeah, I mean, he had the foot injury in the Pinstripe Bowl, and at first when I asked some people close to him about the situation, they said he's going to be fine. Don't worry, he'll be back in the summertime. I've heard mixed reviews since then that the injury might cause him to start a little later, right, and come back in fall camp versus the summer camp. So I think it's just one of those things where it's a foot injury. You don't want to push it too hard. You want him to come back and be healthy August 31st for the opener at Florida. I've heard mixed answers about it. Some people have told me yes, it's Liz Frank. Other people have said it's not. So I haven't spoken to Mark directly myself, so I haven't been able to ask him. Hearing this from people around him, so I think
my experience, when they want to hide Liz Frank, they don't tell you. And then when it's a midfoot sprain or it's the metacarpal or whatever it is, they tell you exactly what the bone injury is. But somehow when it's Liz Frank, like AVG, nobody really knew it was Liz Frank until after that. And Ginkgo suffered. So he's 29. He's a free agent. And it's a Liz Frank injury. So I kind of understand the Dolphins saying, because Liz Frank is a very dangerous thing. You may not come back from that the same way. Your foot doesn't react the same way. If I'm correct, was Liz Frank eventually the injury that kind of stalled UD's career? That foot injury? Was it a Liz Frank? I don't even know.
It might have been what he was dealing with. Yes, I think
he was never the same player again after that foot injury.
No, most people never are the same player again. And that's the thing, Mark Fletcher, he's a young kid, right? He's got a lot of potential.
Right.
If it's close to being that or if it's similar to that, right? They're not going to mess with it. They're not going to rush him back. So if they delay him and he doesn't come back and start practicing until 2 weeks before, whatever. I think as long as you have him in uniform. Look, you also got Trevante Citizen back, and that guy, I was told, might not have a college career. He's got a big knee brace on. He's out there running every single day in practice. He is the prototypical running back that Mario wants, 6'1", 225, just like Fletcher. That's what he wants. The kid who just left, Parrish, 5'10", 5'11", 190. That's not going to cut it in this offense. So,
he's an effort guy. Yeah, I like Henry Parrish. I could never say anything bad about the guy because he plays hard, bro.
Oh, he does. But you got another version of him. You've got two other versions of him on this roster with Chris Johnson and AJ Allen, who came on and hurdled, remember that hurdle touchdown where he leaped over a guy late in the year. So you've got guys that can do what he does. So, for the Miami fans that are distraught.
Reputation-wise, I look at Parrish as, hey man, you're a good dude. You're a real. You're a pro in a pros game nowadays. You handled yourself like a pro. So I have a lot of respect for Henry Parrish, but I totally understand what you're saying. And Brother, all you have to do is look at Mark Fletcher, and you know that's another level player. I mean, give me a break.
And that's what Mario's trying to do at every position here. He's just trying to take it up from 7-6 to 11-1, 12-0. That's what he wants, and that's what he was here to do, right? He was brought here to do that, to raise the level everywhere on the field, and so guys going to hit the road after a little while. So.
Yeah. So what else is in the cards on the recruiting side?
Well, I mean, look, they have a bunch of kids that'll be coming in over the next month. We know that it's going to be busy on the recruiting side. You'll have a bunch of different visitors. One thing that happened in practice today that people noticed, Robbie Washington, a kid who came in as a wide receiver, has moved over and to defense. He's playing some cornerback. I know cornerback was a position that we were all kind of worried about coming in. Robbie, his dad, Bobby Washington, was a great running back at Miami. Killian signed with Miami, ended up at NC State and a couple of other schools. He's a blue chip receiver prospect. Just getting some opportunities on that side. I like it when guys do little position switches. I think that's always sort of noteworthy, right? When you get to see them.
It is, and then it's still scary because he's a receiver, and will he develop the instincts to be a corner? Right away, will it translate to him? Because some guys can use either or to their benefit in the transition, and then some guys just can't make the transition. You know what I mean? So it just it's
receiver.
It's kind of
receiver though is one of those positions that's very deep for Miami. I think this is more about the kid wanting to get on the field and knowing there's more opportunity maybe at cornerback. And having watched him as a player. He is a tough as nails kid. So he's got the mentality, I think.
I like that. That means he's self-motivated,
right,
to make the position switch instead of a coach telling you, you're not really going to be playing a lot in this, but you got the skill to play X position. You ever tried that? And then that's when he reluctantly has to move and learn or whatever. But if it's what you're saying, that's dog.
Yeah, and he is very much that. Watching him as a competitor on the 7-on-7 circuit, seeing him in high school, he is a dog, and I think he just wants opportunity to get on the field faster, and I can't blame him. He's a talented kid, he can do it. He can play both sides, and I think it's an interesting look for camp going forward. But to answer your other question on recruiting, I mean, Mario's not letting up, dude, on that side of the ball. Like they are, They are still going after big time kids in 2025 and 2026, and I expect him to have another top 10 recruiting class.
He drinks like a whole gallon of Cuban coffee. How the hell does he even sleep? I mean,
he doesn't. He really doesn't.
He makes Scarface look straight, and he takes no drugs. It's all Cuban coffee. He does cocaine. Scarface was doing regular cocaine, and yet there he is, way more energy than Scarface. Amazing. In fact, it should be a picture of Cristobal sitting back with a cigar, and instead of a mountain of Coke, it's like a mountain of Cuban coffee beans.
Yeah. And I mean, that's it. It's what he needs. It's all he needs to get going every single day. That and the recruiting rankings.
Coffee beans, and he's dominating the world like that. That's it. The world is his. Yep. So, by the way, is that the new logo on top of the practice facility? The world is mine.
The world is mine. Yes, that's what they put up there. Yes, after spring break.
It would make sense.
Yeah, that's our guy Mario. That's for sure.
All right, what do you got going on in the athletics so folks can check you out?
Well, working on a couple of projects. We're going to start this new series, all state teams for modern day recruiting. So we're going to pick like the best offensive and defensive players to come out of the state of Florida, high school wise. You're going to see a lot of Alabama representation. College representation on those teams, but we're doing fun little off-season project. We're obviously going to have spring football stuff, more podcasts, all that kind of stuff, recruiting coverage. But that's sort of been my project. I've been doing it. I just started the Florida team, but I've done all the research for Georgia, California, Texas. So I'm going to have all that rolling out here over the next few weeks.
Awesome. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro and catch his work and subscribe to The Athletic. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you. Take care.
Thank you, sir. That is the great Manny Navarro, as always. Caneswear, use our code BIG010 right there online at caneswear.com. Remember, when you order over $99, you will get free shipping. use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off your purchase. If you go personally, you can use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off your purchase at Caneswear.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right. Don't see anything there, although I see Anthony Chang put Basketball References updated the playoff possibilities report. It now gives the Heat a 22% chance of finishing the regular season with a top 6 seed, avoiding the play-in tournament. Yeah, not good. Not good. Jimmy will try to get you out of it for a couple games there, I guess, towards the end. So they signed Jack Driscoll, former Philly lineman. They also brought back Isaiah Wynn, which I think that's awesome. Still haven't heard anything on Kendall Lamb or Liam Eichenberg. We're waiting on that. And, I talked a little bit about it in passing with David Furones, but here's what I would say to some of you Dolphin fans out there about the attitude, the way at least I'm looking at this offseason. You make your own choices. You know what I mean? You look at it however you want to look at it. But I think a great attitude in looking at this is understanding the big picture. Okay. And I've explained it many times. You're not going to be able to keep everybody. And you have so many free agents that you drafted this year, next year, that you have to make a decision. So you're going to go for the next wave of free agents along with Tua over Wilkins, Hunt, and AVG. Okay? You'd rather go with Waddle. You'd rather go with Phillips. You'd rather go with Holland and Tua. You feel as a front office that it's more important there, and you can replace these guys in other ways. So we're going to find out, right? And so we really can't say that it's not going to work. That's what I'm, same thing with the linemen. This Driscoll guy could be the next Kendall Lamb. You don't know where Keon Smith is going. Isaiah Wynn never played like he played his 7 games here in New England. He played better here than he ever played in New England, and he had one of the best offensive line coaches in Dante Scarnecchia there. Okay? Austin Jackson was a disaster, unfortunately, and all that the first couple of years when he didn't have coaching. Now look at him. He's a terrific right tackle, solid right tackle, can do the job for you, an excellent job. Hell, the dude will block 30 yards downfield for you. I mean, so we got to kind of take a step back and let's let all of this develop, okay? Because you have to understand that you're not going to be able to sign everybody. So now you've made your decision that the second wave for you is more important than the first wave, okay? And if we look at the way they have filled out the roster, there's a lot of balance. You still have your stars. I mean, you want to go over the roster? It's not like you lack stars, dude. Okay? Here. I'll pull it up. And offensively, you have Waddle. You have Tyreek, right? Those are stars. Tua's been in the MVP conversation the last 2 years. Teron Armstead is a star left tackle. Okay. And you may not have stars at running back, but Mostert played like a star last year with 21 touchdowns. And Achane. I mean, the man was just on a sick tear. So you've got a nice opportunity here. You've got enough stars. You added Jonnu Smith, who is one of the 3 fastest tight ends in the NFL, which goes exactly with what your team is all about. You have enough here. And then you hope that everybody else, including draft picks, kind of does their job, whether it's Aaron Brewer, Jonnu Smith, Jack Driscoll, all the other guys that you're going to add to this team, right? And then you look on defense. Zach Sealer may not be a star, but he's a hell of a player. Hopefully, you'll get back Phillips and Chubb, which should be stars for you, especially Chubb. The way he was playing last year, he was playing like a star. You have Jalen Ramsey, who's a flat-out star. Javon Holland, to me, is a bad mofo. I mean, he is a stud, a badass. And, in fact, for him to come back with 2 knee ligaments that weren't in, 100%, I have even more respect for him overall. So you're going to have your impact players on defense. Jordan Brooks, I think, is going to be a very good player for you. Kendall Fuller, I think, was an excellent addition, and I love Jordan Poyer for a year here with Holland. I know he's 32, but I think he has enough in the tank. Since he's next to a young stud, it will make his life easier too. It's not like he has to carry the secondary. He has to complement the secondary. So you have enough players to make plays, to stop people, to get it done. It's up to the coaching now. It's up to the development. It's up to Mike McDaniel on game day. Let's allow it to play out. There are too many of you that are just abandoning ship, and you have no idea how it's going to turn out. None whatsoever. So let's just, I would just tell you, I get your frustrations of years past. I have them too. I get your frustrations of how the year ended. I have them too. But you have to separate yourself from all of that and then start over again and see what you're doing. And does it make sense? Is it logical? And is it what you need to build forward? And yeah, apparently it is, because you can't have your cake and eat it too. You won't be able to sign these guys, and then next year you were going to lose somebody. And you just can't afford to do that. And maybe also you got to have maybe more really good players, role players and maybe try to have a few less stars, because if you're too top heavy, you don't have enough of the middle class. And you kind of need a lot of that middle class. And I think that's what they added here in free agency to kind of bring some balance, and they still have their stars. I don't know, but that's just me, man. I like what they're doing. Does it mean you're going to win a championship? I don't know. We'll see. I need our head coach to grow up a little bit. That's what I need. By the way, Hialeah Park, right there, man. No regret first bet. Use that QR code right there. Open your account at the Hialeah Park website and take advantage like I did yesterday. I took the Sixers. Anyway, so I had to. I had to. I went to the Hialeah Park website and took the Sixers. What can I tell you? I didn't have any faith in the team last night, to be quite honest. Once I heard Jimmy Butler was out, I was like, this is a joke, bro. This is a joke. But anyway, you got a no regret first bet. Now, listen, if you also have a Hard Rock account, which I do, but if you open up your Hialeah account, use a different phone number or email. Okay? That way you could get the $100 no regret first bet. All right? And hey, man, get an extra 100 to play. That's a pretty good thing there at Hialeah Park. And by the way, we are giving away a brand new electric Mustang there at Hialeah Park. All you got to do is play the slot machines. And every time you play a slot machine, another entry. The more you play, the more entries you get. And they give it away at the end of the month. All right. I think it's Saturday the 30th, I think it is. If I'm correct. Saturday the 30th at, Friday the 30th. No, Saturday the 30th. No, I'm wrong. Friday at 1 a.m., which is Saturday morning. That's what it is. I think that's the...
No, you were right the first time. It's Saturday, because remember we were arguing with he said it's Saturday going into Sunday.
Okay.
You were right the first time.
Right. Saturday night at 1 a.m., which is Sunday, but you got to be there Saturday night. And then at 1 a.m., they give the car away, but you have to be present. Okay. So check it out. You could drive away. You drive right away with it. It's pretty cool. Let's see. I know. Secor, thank you for the love on the super chat, sir. Happy anniversary. Thank you, Secor. Very kind of you, man. Very kind of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For those of you tuning in, yesterday was our 30th wedding anniversary, the wife and I. So that's what Secor is congratulating us. So thank you, Secor. That's very nice of you. And thank you for the donation. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, which, hey, we got a dip going on. Perfect time to make a donation when there's a little bit of a dip. That means your donation will grow. Thank you, as always. Frankie Fresco says, Big O, Messi is not playing for Argentina. I think Messi should sit out Copa America this year, just saying. Brother, I don't know what whole rig is going on or whatever. You know, it's a mess. You know what I say, Frankie? And I said it before it started. That preseason, bro. That preseason, Frankie. And this is not hindsight. Before the preseason even started, I called it ridiculous. And sure enough, it's come to fruition. The dumbest thing you did because you went money chasing. And you put players at risk. And you put your most important player at risk. It's just, you know. So that's what I would tell you, Frankie. The preseason. Let's go have a preseason where we travel 50,000 miles because, you know, we're fresh. We're not even in shape. That's the best way to get in shape. You know. And whatever, man. It's just sad, but whatever. And last year they did the same shit. They played him right into the ground. And he's a gym rat. I don't give a shit, bro. You're the coach. There's a GM and there's an owner. And all three of you gather around the guy and say, yo, you're a meal ticket. We're not going to play you just because you want to play. And you got to do what we need you to do because we need you for the entire season. That's all. So, you know, whatever. JS says, I know Tyreek's wife has a brother. Yeah, Kenny Vaccaro, yes. If I'm him, I would have put Tyreek in the hospital if he touched my sister. Yeah. I get it. But then you're also, you know, in jail and all that. And so it just becomes a huge problem. Was X a cancer in the locker room? No. X's only issues were personal, like his off the field shit. And then he always had knee injuries and he always had, what's it called? Money issues always and all that. That's what X was a good dude in the locker room. X not a bad dude, bro. X is not a bad dude with the guys, right? X's problem is his personal life. He's a mess in his personal life. He's getting all kinds of people pregnant and, you know, it's just, you know, same stupid shit that Tyreek does. You're sticking your pecker everywhere and, you know, so that's kind of what it is. But it's not he was never a cancer on a team. Nobody could ever call X that. Okay. He was just a off-season pain in the ass for the team. You know what I mean? And then obviously he was, you know, inconsistent with his health at times for a few years because he would miss games because of the knees. So he's done already, you know. It's just, you got the best out of him a few years back, and that's about it. Big O, do you have any concerns with Holland and that double ligament? No, because they weren't real, like, major tears or anything like that. They were strains, so he'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. Now he has a whole offseason to really get healthy. He'll be good. Edward Thurston Howe, happy anniversary, Big O. I think the Dolphins should have kept Andrew Van Ginkel. The guy did it all. Pass rusher, great at forcing fumbles, block punts, got interceptions for touchdowns. He was a gamer. No, dude, nobody's a bigger Andrew Van Ginkel fan than I am. But I get it. 29, Liz Frank. So they felt like they didn't want to take the gamble. And Wilkins has the most mileage of any defensive tackle in free agency because he plays all downs. So, and he's going to be 29? And so is Andrew Van Ginkel, going to be 29. So I think those were the factors in there. How's the weight? Lost 60 pounds on Wegovy. Highly recommended. I don't know what Wegovy is. Is that some kind of like, what's that other shit they're using? Ozempic. Is that what that is? That kind of shit? Ozempic just came out with something that's specifically because people were using Ozempic, and Ozempic is not for weight loss, correct? And then Ozempic now came out with one for weight loss, and they say it's even stronger. I'm not doing that. I've never done that when I do weight loss. I just, weight loss is all about discipline, something I don't have. And so I'll get mentally into the groove of it, and then I'll get focused like I am now, and I'll eat right. And I haven't even added exercise yet because of my foot. You know what I'm saying? But I've never been that. Now, look, some people need some medical help to lose weight and all that. I don't feel I need it. I'm just not disciplined, and that's why I end up gaining back the weight. Because I like food too much. I'm too guilty. That's why I get fat. And that's why I'm fat. And so really, it's just all about discipline. And it's all here. It's all here, man. That's how I keep myself from eating for 24 hours. And it's basically a lot of water, a lot of water, and, just do my thing and don't even, once you train your brain, it's used to not eating for a long time. But you got to train it first, just in case. If you ever try fasting, try eating without 8 hours. Most people don't, because you'll pick at something. Then go 10, and then go 11, and then go 12 until you're able to build it up. That's what I would do. But I don't know about any Wegovy thing. I don't know what that is. So but hey, man, listen, whatever it takes, good luck to you. Get it done. Get it done. The Inter Miami preseason was a huge curse not a curse, it was a mistake. Dan B, thank you for the happy anniversary, sir. X was a freaky frog. Yes, he is. There's no doubt about that. South Beach is undefeated. Yes, it is. Do you see the Ultra Music Festival being a concern for some of these pro athletes living in Miami? No, dude. They don't give a shit about that. The more you weigh, the harder you will be to kidnap. Stay safe. Eat more cake. Nutrition is the key. Amen to that, sir. And I never do it. They are using it, and it's for diabetes. Right. Ozempic is diabetes, right? And then they use it for weight loss. But I don't know what the other one that person talked about is. Big O, it's hilarious that fans are still overreacting about the Dolphins not paying Wilkins and also complaining about Tua getting a contract, but have forgotten that Herbert and Burrow got theirs. Yeah. It's amazing. Just think about this. If Tua does what Lamar Jackson has done, the Dolphin Nation will kill Tua. We'll fry Tua. Fry him. Sizzle him. Let's see. Let me make sure I got this right. Just want to make sure. Just want to make sure I get it right here. But yes, here we go. Yes. Okay. If for 6 seasons he barely wins playoff games and goes to the playoffs every year and has a hell of a team, the Dolphins fans would kill him, would fry him. Fry him, dude, if he chokes every year in the playoffs. So it doesn't really matter. Those people are going to be who they are. You're not going to change them. Why do you think I've gotten to the point now where, dude, I'm not here to convince you. So I don't give a shit. You don't like Tua? That's your freaking problem, not mine, dude. I don't care. I'm a big Tua guy. I believe in Tua. I know what the real problem is. And it ain't Tua. But that's fine. You know what I mean? Ozempic is for diabetes, but people take it for weight loss and had terrible side effects from it. Oh, they do? Oh, wow. Well, I'm not surprised, right? Because every time they mention a drug, the disclaimer follows after, and it's like 4,000 bad things can happen to you. Maybe 2 1,000-yard rushers are next with the Chan and Mostert. Maybe. Forget Ozempic. What happened to sticking to a diet and having willpower to avoid those junky foods? Yeah. It's not, I got to tell you, Ray, I am a disaster with that. You know, this is the 4th time now that I'm going to lose weight. I've lost 80, 60, and 50 in my lifetime. So I've done it before. You know, anybody that's watched my show for years, you've seen me go through the yo-yo of it. Okay? It's not, I can lose the weight. I've proven it over and over and over and over, and this will be the 4th time that I'm going to lose over 50 pounds. The 4th time. Okay? And, you know, it's just, it's just keeping it off. I'm terrible at it. I get in focused and I lose it, and then I don't. But I think this time I have to because I'm too old. I'm too old. I cannot gain it back again. I can't. I have to change my entire lifestyle, which is what I'm doing, not a diet. I have to change my entire, I have no choice. Have no choice. Plus, I want to travel a lot next year. So if I want to travel, I don't want to be carrying a bunch of weight traveling, you know? So when I do a show from Madeira or Barbados or El Salvador or Singapore, you know, Brazil, you know. So when I'm doing shows from different places next year, I want to be light. I was thinking about that. How am I going to travel with, you know, all this extra weight? Dude, I'm going to get skinny so I can travel and be comfortable in an airplane seat. You know, all those things. Hey, my watch. It's just like, now I got to tell the wife to like take out one of the things because it's already like my watch is dancing. My Apple Watch is dancing all over my wrist now. So yeah, but this time I have to stay on it. I have no choice. I'm too old. You know, I've done it before when I'm younger. Now I have to really stick to it. You guys have to do your job too there and help me out. Okay. So whenever I do get down to my weight and I lose it, then stay on top of me on that. If you ever see me eating something bad, call me out for it. Okay? I'm good. I'm all right with all that. When I deserve it, I'm good. I'm all right. I know that I did wrong. What's your thought on Diamond Dallas Page yoga physical therapy treatment plan? I have no idea. I did 22 fasting, lost 45 pounds, kicked in exercise, and man, it works. Yeah. That's what I'm going to do, Giovanni. I'm just going to keep my fasting going. And then when my foot is, you know, fully healthy that I can, you know, well, it'll be healthy soon enough that I can start to walk. That'll be good. I can get some, you know, but I won't be able to do explosive stuff, running and push-ups and planks and all that other kind of stuff that I want to do for, man, maybe 4 to 5, 6 months. I don't know when. The doctor will tell me as the healing process takes over. But that's the only thing that's kind of stopping me. No, fasting works. I know it works. I lost last time 50 pounds on fasting. So I was able to do it. I fast 20 hours a day. Don't forget to treat yourself. Oh, I always do. Oh, I treat myself. When you fast, you can have some bad stuff. You're all right. It's not the end of the world. That's the beauty of it. It's the killer for us fat people is usually, I don't know about, maybe not all of us fatties are the same, but we're eating all day, bro. I'm not the guy that sits down and eats a 48 ounce, I cannot do that. I can't do that. You'll never see my name on Shula Steak 2. Forget about it. Okay. For me to eat a 24 ouncer, forget it. Maybe I'm starving for 3 days and then you give me the steak and I'll eat it. But normally, brother, I eat a 12 ounce steak is usually what I eat. Right around, more than enough. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not the fat guy that can eat a lot, but I'm the fat guy that constantly eats. And then that's what slows you down. You know what I mean? So when you fast, even if you, in those 4 hours, even if you eat bad stuff, for 20 hours, your body will burn that and you're fat. And that's what's going on. So you can actually treat yourself practically every day during that 4-hour period. Practically. I don't do it every day, but I do. Every couple of days, I'll treat myself to something bad because it's not going to make me gain weight because I'm not eating for another 20 hours. And by the way, here's the other thing. The sugar is just like cocaine and alcohol and heroin and, any of those addictive type of things, caffeine and sugar, which is the killer for us fat people. And so the more sugar and the more caffeine, the more you're training your brain that they need the drug. So it's the same thing as heroin. It's just sugar. It's no different. It's just your brain is asking for sugar, not for heroin. That's all it is. So the more we eat sugars, the worse it is for us because our bodies, will be, oh my God, we're jonesing. We got to have the sugar. We got to have the sugar. So that's also the bad part for us fat people. I know what's wrong with me. It's just I'm dumb that I don't do what I'm supposed to do every day, and I end up getting out of shape. I have no discipline, I lose it because I love an elephant ear. I can't help it, bro. Damn it. But see, the elephant ear didn't do any damage to me. That was one of my meals. Did you know that day? That was one of my meals. I then only had a grilled chicken and some vegetables and some stuff after that later on when I got home. That was the only thing I ate. That was one of my meals, and then I had a decent meal. But again, the elephant ear didn't do shit to me, because I can treat myself. By the way, 72 years, the fair is celebrating now, and they're there till April 7th. We'll be there live tomorrow. Show tomorrow starts at 4:00. All right. Spring break and weekends, they will open up at noon. Parking is free every day. Guests 5 and under and 65 plus are free every day. General admission pricing, $16. They've got unlimited rides, up to $40 on site. You can buy tickets online at Sedano's before you arrive to save more. You can go to fairexpo.com. More than 80 rides and 130 food stands. Trouble. So good. So good. Be there. The fair. Be there. Love it. Let's see. Especially if they build up the running game, defense and special teams is the way Baltimore has. Exactly. Yeah. Yep. My wife uses those diabetes weekly needles. She tried everything to lose some weight. Sometimes her body doesn't keep weight off despite eating well. She's lost 40 pounds and feels great. Giovanni, remember, women, brother, a hell of a lot harder to lose weight than us. I forgot what the whole thing is with their balance, their bodies, but it's harder for women to lose weight than men. Okay. So when you lose weight and a woman loses weight, I want you to know you should be more impressed with her than you. Just want you to know that. Okay. Those are facts. That's just something we can't change. That's DNA. I don't know what it is. I'm not smart enough, but that is a fact. Women struggle to lose weight more than men. A lot more, man. It's really a challenge. So your wife is a goddess. Okay. To lose 40 pounds, that's like you and I losing 70, bro. Seriously. That's kind of the way you got to look at it. It's that bad. It really is. And it gets really bad for us when we're low on our low T and all that kind of stuff, because then it really slows everything down for us. NorCal, who's a stud, he knows how to take care of himself. Strict on yourself. Let's go. 30 to 60 minutes a day. Get the heart rate over 130. And he does that like crazy. He's a beast. He's in great shape. To people that say motivation does not always last, neither does bathing, which is why both are recommended daily. We want Big O in LA and Seattle. Let's go. Let's go. We would love to go out there. Got to get some sponsors to take us out there and do the shows. Oh, you can still go to the gym and work on upper body. Actually, that's what I'm going to do here in my house. I have bench and I have some weights, and I'm actually going to start working on upper body. And I was thinking that I can still do like sit-ups, but on the bench where I lift my legs, and then so I can kind of do that where I'm not putting my foot down and I need to use leverage with that foot. So I was thinking about that already. So you are thinking just like me, Troy, which I don't know. Maybe that's scary for me. Ew, I thought like Troy. Oh. Anyway, diets never work long-term. Lifestyle changes can. With some discipline. That's my problem, Brett. Discipline. Big O, but you will be traveling to the championship city, that is Buffalo, New York. Well, hold on a second. I could. No. I could be at Niagara Falls. Slowly I turn. Step by step. Inch by inch. And then we mortalize him. No, I could be there. I could go, yeah. I mean, I got to visit Lisa and Ragin. So, yeah, why not, Les? Are you going to be there too? You're also one of those Rochester Buffalonians? Maybe. You know what? Maybe we do that. I go up with the wife to Niagara Falls, right? Visit Toronto, Niagara Falls, and we go over to, the Buffalo area, and we have like a little Dolphin get-together somewhere. That sounds like a plan. Okay? That sounds like a plan. No more sugar, bro. I got you. I'm trying to eliminate that, bro. I am. Big O, I agree. We don't go to the Finn's pressers and grill McD about running and sticking to the run more. Yep. Because do you notice the press conferences are during the show? Everything is during my show. And so then I have to then adjust my show, go out there. And then, you know why I stopped going out there as much? The NFL went after me. We would air the interviews and all that kind of stuff and the press conferences. And then they said, no, you can't do that. You can only air 1 minute and 40 seconds daily. You think I'm going to go and make all that effort when you're not paying me to be there? No, fuck you. So I'm not doing that shit. You know what I mean? I'll cover the team. I break more stories than everybody else, dude. I break more stories than everyone else on the beat. Period. End of story. I break most of the biggest stories that happen to this team. And I don't have to go there every day. You know what I mean? But I am not going to inconvenience my life when people don't work with me. So if the NFL is going to limit me to 1 minute and 40, what do I do with that, bro? And I get a full Teron Armstead interview and I can't air it? You know what I mean? And so, I have to limit it to 1 minute and 40? Bro, get the hell out of my face. I've been at this too long to be doing this. You know, I'm not just a YouTuber or anything like that. I've been in the media for 34 years. I've covered this team for 34 freaking years. I've covered it more than almost everybody on that beat except Poopart. That's about it. I have more years than everybody else. I got more years than almost everybody else covering all sports in this town. Okay? You know, so, and the Heat doesn't do that to you. I could air whatever I want and they don't go after you. Major League Baseball doesn't go after you. MLS, but the NFL wants to be just king-size jackasses. And I don't have money. I am not rich. I'm a working stiff. I can't get sued by the NFL. So why am I going to go ask a question? No, dude. So that's the real story. You know what I mean? That's the real story. I'm not some newbie that just got in this business and I need to go to Dolphins camp so I can feel important. And, I see, I got a credential. I can get credentials anytime. I can go to anything I want. That's not what I need. You know what I mean? But if I want to do interviews with people, you saw it when I started. Me and Sean we go out of our way, and then we have to go record the show in the afternoon. And then Sean has to then post the show and cut it all up. So then all of a sudden, Sean's day starts in the morning and ends at night. Fuck no. Fuck no. I'm not doing that to Sean. No. So now you know why I don't go. If I can't use the material video-wise for you guys, I could get the information. I don't need to go to the building to get the information, right? I mean, how many times do I have to prove that? Right? I don't need to go to the building to get the information. But I can't do anything if the league, I'm not an NFL affiliate. And any of you got some millions of dollars to give me so I can have NFL rights? You guys? No, I didn't think so. And by the way, if you do have the millions, drop it in our Cash App so Sean and I can retire, actually, even better. We'll do the show happily and we have our money. So, anybody really rich, forget about buying NFL rights. Help me and Sean out. That's even better. Cash Big O show, by the way. Send it in Bitcoin, too. Sean won't mind. Right, Sean? You won't mind, right? No, he doesn't mind. Bitcoin, cash, it doesn't matter to him. He's going to take it. No, but seriously, it's just, that's the truth. So I'm not going to waste my time going to a press conference just to ask a question. And unfortunately, then I can't even use his full answer because, his answer is going to be a lot longer than 1:40. With the ums and the pregnant pauses and all that, it's going to be a 3:40 answer. I can't even give you the answer on video. So there you go. Now I hope I explained it. And now you kind of understand the business side of it. Big O, I might suggest a DQ hot dog. It will evacuate all of your stomach contents, thus losing calories. It definitely does that, bro. I mean, listen, you don't need a cleanse. Just eat a DQ hot dog. That shit will cleanse you better than anything you buy at what are those vitamin stores? Vitamin Shop and what's that other one? The big one? Whatever. All those cleansers, colon, whatever you want. You want to get cleansed? Eat a Dairy Queen hot dog. Okay? That shit will cleanse you. You are correct, Brett. Losing weight is one of the hardest things. I myself have been up and down like a yo-yo. Food is so damn good. It's really hard. Keeping it off is the main challenge for me. It's what I can't do. If I swallow anything evil, put your finger down my throat. If I shiver, please give me a blanket. I can't give up pasta and bread. I'm never losing weight. Yeah, no. You definitely aren't. Oh, man. Bill's fake crowd noise says, I lost 40 pounds doing 24 fasting. a couple of years ago. So he went 20 hours and then 4 hours on. It works, man. But train yourself. Work up to, don't try to do it right away. You'll get headaches. You'll feel like shit. Work yourself up every day at an hour, or every 2 days at an hour. You know, do it the first day, just 8 hours. Just the first day, 8 hours. Make sure, because most of you don't realize you don't stay 8 hours without eating anything. Just nothing, you know, just 8 hours. And then you can pick it up and start picking it up and picking it up. You'll notice, even with a bad foot, you can focus on core exercises, stretching, then increasing exercises as you recover. You want to eat a big meal, stay in the gym an extra 20. LOL. Big O, she looks like a goddess. She tried fasting and all, never worked, and she is so much happier too. Good for her, man. Good for her. She's a champ, dude. To lose that much weight, a woman, that is so hard, bro. Big O, that pig race at the fair was cool. You should have a segment on that on your show every day. Yeah, we need somebody at 5 o'clock to be at the pig races to be filming it for us, and then we'll give them the link. I'm possibly starting Ozempic today, but it's more for my diabetes than weight loss. I'm down over, I don't know what you put there to 219, but okay. GNC, that's it. There you go. Good for you, Alex. Good that you're losing, bro. It's the hormones that men's have, the testosterone, easier to lose weight. Okay. I know it's something like that we have an advantage over women, unfortunately. For them, that is. You know, when something tastes good, but you can't stop eating, even when it's been full, it's hard, man. I know. Considering the medium has shifted to folks like you on YouTube, etc., the NFL will have to change. No, they won't change, bro. They don't need to change. They don't need us. They don't need us. They won't change, my brother. That will never change. We're done with that. You know what I mean? I had to even, you know, deal with lawyers and everything for that shit to make sure. Like I had to get a lawyer to send them a letter to tell them that I wasn't going to air anything anymore, that I promised, and all that kind of shit. No, dude, it was a pain in the ass. Like, yeah, no, they went after me, and I can't do it. And I'm certainly not changing my entire lifestyle around and changing my entire day around where, you know, instead of me done at 12 or 1 o'clock or 1:30, and I'm done. I got up in the morning early. I prepared for the show. I got my information throughout the day before, all that. For me to start in the morning to then finish at night, brother, I'm too old for that already. I've paid my dues. Why do you think I get information more than everybody else? Because I know more people than most of the people that are on the beat right now around the league. That's why. It's a reason why I know a lot of shit over most of the people that are on the beat, on any of those beats over the years. You know? So that's the other thing. I just don't need it. You know? And what, to go ask a question to McDaniel? That's not going to get me anywhere. You know? True Fin fan, 140 is just the first. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. At the 140 mark is the first. Yeah. Yeah. You were so right. Oh, man. Anyway. So there you go. You guys know we're an open book. We tell you everything that goes on. Big O, also, how do you get credentials for someone who is just starting? You've got to be part of a media contingency or something. I don't know. I don't know how they do it. I've been at it for so long. I have no idea, bro. All I have to do is call any of the media relations departments and they give me a credential to do whatever I need to do. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how others do it. That's not, you know, I'm already established in this town, bro. I'm an old man. I've been all over the place. Everybody knows me. So, you know, it's a whole different ball. I'm at a different place. So I don't know how people start off with that stuff, to be quite honest. If you're grilling a burger 2 miles away and I get a whiff of it, that's 3 pounds right there on my waist. My metabolism sucks more older I get. Yeah, that's all of us, Lenny. Big O, the NFL copyright claim is no different than playing any type of music on YouTube, on your podcast. You will be sued, right? Exactly. So that's it. And I don't want to get sued by the NFL because I have no power against the NFL. Big O at a press conference. Big O, Mike, how would you be better on getting the tight ends involved? In McDaniel's answer, I just got to do better. Big O, I'm trying to cut off fast food. Somehow I'm still having these cravings. It's what I told you. The bread turns into sugar in your body. So the sodas, the breads, the snacks, the cookies, the more sugar you put in, the more your addiction continues. And because we've been doing it for years and decades, our addictions are super strong. So that's why I tell you that you need to start slowly fasting and let your body separate itself from those foods for a certain amount of time and longer time and longer time. And then that's how you train your brain to get away from the desires of having to have that cookie or drink that Coke, or you got to have whatever it is that you love, cake or whatever, donut, which is like, wow, my number one killer. Coke and donuts. Holy shit. Those are my number one. Those are my two favorite like snacks. You know what I mean? And the more you eat them, it's like smoking crack. You're just more crack and you want more crack and you want more crack. So that's really what it is, dude. You just have to train your brain from getting away from all these sugary type of substances, which bread is sugar. When it converts in your body, it converts into sugar. So yeah, you want to stay away from it. And I love bread too. So I'm losing weight, definitely, but I've made a pact with myself to lose weight, to get rid of the type 2 diabetes and get more healthier. Good for you, Alexander. That is good, Alexander. Get it done, baby. Good for you, brother. Let's see. Oh, talking about the financials of the team, 2 to 3 years out, but waiting since January 20th, 85 for another appearance in the big game. Sadly, I don't feel confident that this team has what it takes. Well, that's fine. And that's fine. Just let's see what happens. Buy bags of sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. God, I hear pumpkin seeds are so good for you, and chia seeds. Snack on that and watch your weight fly off. Edward is 1,000% right, by the way. Big O asks one question to Mike and ends up talking about the weather. Big O, my coworker lost 35 pounds in 2 weeks using pharmaceuticals he got from the street. Yeah, well, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing any drugs, bro. I'm just not. I've done it before and I know how to do it. So it's just a matter of trying to be disciplined, and I'm doing it right now, as you can tell. I mean, if you've seen me, when you see my body now and everything, I have lost a lot of weight. It's probably around 30 pounds now, what I've lost. So I know I can do it. You know what I mean? We all can do it. It's just here that you got to put your mind to it. That's all. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, by the way, I'd be remiss if I did not mention, top of the hour here, rest in peace, Charlie Green, Miami-Dade South baseball coach, full life. My man passed away at the age of 94. Nobody's going to talk about Charlie Green in town. I know the Herald wrote about it. I'm sure most radio stations won't even know, or podcasters will even know. But as a, full-time, all-time, all-life South Florida resident, I am well aware of Charlie Green, his impact in our community. He was a pillar of our community. A lot of young men made better lives because they were coached by this man, whether they went on in life or they went on to go to the majors. Okay, Charlie Green was a legend in this town, and I just want to make sure that I mention it because he deserves that respect. He deserves that honor. And for those of you that are young and maybe you give a shit about the history of our town and some of the pillars like Ron Frazier, that was a pillar in our town. Charlie Green is Caesar Odio. You know, I could just go on and talk about some of these coaches that were here for a long, long time in high school and college and making a huge impact in our society and changing the lives of a lot of young people because they were here for a long time. Charlie Green, man, bless you. Rest in peace, sir. Thank you for all you did for so many in South Florida. Our number 3 is next.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All right, hour number 3. All right, a little facts, a little history. I guess somebody wants to ask me here, how did I come up with my name? I did not. 34 years ago, when I first started, one of the things I did was I bought airtime on Waxy 790. This was before it was the ticket or any of that. And we did a show, me and Jerry Del Castillo, a friend of mine. We bought the hour, It was noon to 1, right before the Sunday games. And he and I would do it was called Homegrown Sports. I doubt any of you even heard it or even knew about it or whatever. But I was proud of that because it was the first and only time I ever bought airtime because I was a newbie, right? And back then you didn't get on until somebody hired you. And at that moment, nobody hired me. So I did something really ballsy. I went and bought the airtime and then went and sold it. And I actually had like lots of sponsors in South Beach, including Tattoo by Lou. And I had all kinds of sponsors. It was great. Like not one penny came out of my pocket throughout that entire stretch. We had it for like a year, which is a miracle, by the way. If anybody knows this business, what we were able to pull off is a miracle, considering we weren't known or anything like that at all. And so Jerry gave me the name. So I never even thought of it, and it was just Orlando Alzagir, and then he started calling me Big O, and then that's it. The rest is history. So Jerry Del Castillo gets the credit of calling me Big O. He's the one that gave me the name, and I liked it and stuck with it, and the rest is history. So give Jerry Del Castillo the credit for my nickname, the Big O. Okay. That's the history, and that is the tooth. The tooth. It's the tooth, man. It's the tooth. Let's see some stuff here. Let's get into a little entertainment and music. Netflix has got a new series called Receiver. It debuts this summer. Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson, George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Amon St. Brown are part of this Netflix series. They didn't pick Tyreek Hill. I wonder why. They didn't want the extracurricular activity on Netflix? Would have had to become an R version or something? Anyway, so that will debut this summer. Should be interesting. So this offseason, or this season, they'll film Adams and Jefferson. Kittle and Samuel are on the same team, so that's they saved themselves a little there. And then St. Brown, obviously, with the Lions. Pretty cool for the Lions, man. That they're getting a little love because that team has been so bad for so long. That is a cool thing. I'm not a Lions guy, but I'm happy for Lions fans because I know what suffering is, and we're suffering right now, but nobody has suffered like them. So I you can't be a dick, bro. You gotta have some sympathy and some empathy for people, and especially I have it for the Detroit Lions fans. Those people have hung in there forever. It's impressive. Can I tell you something that I am impressed with? Besides Giovanni's wife losing all that weight, which is just absolutely amazing. Okay. And of course, Netflix doing a wide receiver series, but I'm also impressed with Weezer. I like Weezer. I saw Weezer about a year ago. It was right with Green Day, Weezer, the Interrupters, and somebody else. I forgot who it was. And I like Weezer a lot. Dude, Weezer announced a new tour, and they sold out Madison Square Garden. You would have beat me in a bet. I would have been dead ass wrong. You would have told me, hey, I bet you Weezer sells out Madison Square Garden. I would have laughed at you. I would have said, come on, bro. They're good, but they're not going to sell out Madison Square Garden now. This isn't the 90s and the early 2000s. And, well, after teasing an upcoming North American tour on social media and putting up tickets on sale last week, Weezer has sold out massive iconic venues across the country, including Madison Square Garden, LA's Intuit Dome, and the first night at Washington, D.C.'s The Anthem, and Chicago's Allstate Arena. The band's hottest tour yet in the celebration of its 30th anniversary and their career self-defining debut, Weezer. Also known as the Blue Album, they will play Weezer, the Blue Album, in full, along with other fan favorites, rarities, and more on this anniversary tour produced by Live Nation. Weezer will be joined by the Flaming Lips and Dinosaur Jr. as support. It's a pretty good concert, bro. I like Flaming Lips. Don't know too much about Dinosaur Jr. I've heard of them. Don't know too much about them, but I do like the Flaming Lips. So Friday, Weezer's going to kick off the tour in Los Angeles with Dogstar as support. That is pretty freaking cool. And if you're asking, you have a Hollywood, Florida date at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, September 21st. In Orlando at the Kia Center, September 20th. Tennessee, September 17th at Bridgestone Arena. San Francisco, the Chase Center, October 9th. Sacramento, the Golden One Center, October 8th. Seattle, October 4th at the Climate Pledge Arena. On my birthday, October 1st, they're at Loveland, Colorado at the Blue FCU Arena. Okay, those are some of the dates, not all of them, but you can look them up if you're a Weezer fan. But I was impressed that they actually sold out MSG. I would have never guessed that at all. There's no way I would have guessed that. And let's straighten out a story that we read yesterday. Well, allegedly. MGM Resorts has now denied a claim that Bruno Mars owes them $50 million. The company's response came after News Nation reported last week that Mars landed himself in gambling debt over $50 million at MGM, a large portion of which is being paid off from the money he's made in the singer's residency park at MGM in Las Vegas, according to a source. Now, they released a statement. It says, "We are proud of our relationship with Bruno Mars, one of the world's most thrilling and dynamic performers. From his shows at Dolby Live at Park at MGM to the new Pinky Ring Lounge at Bellagio, Bruno's brand of entertainment attracts visitors from around the globe. MGM and Bruno's partnership is long-standing and rooted in mutual respect. Any speculation otherwise is completely false. He has no debt with the MGM." The statement continues, "Together, we are excited to continue an unforgettable experience for our guests." So, what is wrong with that statement? What do you think I find, as the late, great Mad Dog Mandich would say, I put it to my nosy and it don't smell so rosy. What do you think it is? Why is it that the MGM Resorts are the ones that are responding to this? And what else are they going to say in a statement? Yeah, Bruno Mars sucks at gambling and he owes us $50 million, but it's all right. We're paying him $90 for his stay, so he'll still have some money left over. Are they going to say that? Are they going to confirm it? Oh, yes, the News Nation report is accurate. He does owe us $50 million. No. So why isn't Bruno Mars coming out and completely denying it and calling it ridiculous or whatever? Like, I know if you were lying about me, brother, I'm going to go after you. Publicly, everything. And I'm going to stand at the tallest buildings in the world and the tallest mountains and say, F you, you're wrong. You're a liar. I don't see him calling out anybody. Kind of crazy, right? Journey has hit a record that only one other person has done, and it kind of blew me away, that one. But Journey has another reason to celebrate as they prepare to hit the road this summer with Def Leppard. And their 1981 mega hit, Don't Stop Believin', has reached another milestone, tying it for the biggest song in American music history. The song was recently certified 18 times platinum by RIAA, and according to Forbes, platinum status is reached for every 1 million units of sales streaming equivalent. The only other song to reach that platinum level is Post Malone and Sway Lee's Sunflower, which is the Spider-Man theme, Into the Spider-Verse, which was certified 18 times platinum last May. How and why? Anyway, Don't Stop Believin' is one of the most enduring hits from Journey's blockbuster 1981 album Escape, The honor comes as the band prepares to launch a stadium tour with Leopard this summer that will feature a variety support from Cheap Trick, Steve Miller Band, and Heart. There you go. And again, you have, let's see, do you have, you don't have a South Florida date. You don't have a Florida date, actually, now that I look at it. No, oh yeah, you do. Orlando Camping World, July 10th. So there you go. Okay. So Journey hitting the records. Not bad. And I went to see U2 3 times at the Sphere. Now, many other bands, Fish and others, are going to be at the Sphere. The Eagles are now are going to the Sphere, according to the Post. Sources have told the publication that the band will enjoy a 10-week run in Sin City from September through December. The total number of shows have not been disclosed yet. A spokesman for the state-of-the-art venue declined to comment on the rumor, telling the Post, "We do not comment on any artists performing at the Sphere except those that have been announced." So it's a report, not for sure. But it's probably a done deal that the Eagles are going to the Sphere. So if you want to see this Eagles run, you can go to the Sphere and check it out. Let's go through some birthdays today. Bruce Willis, 69 years old. And man, I hope his health can get better. Sad, man. It's not the kind of way any of us want to go. Let's see. Theo Von, comedian, 44. Andy Reid is 66 today. Glenn Close is 77. Jake Weber, movie actor, is 60. There we go. I know her, but I don't know her name. Madhulika Krishnan. She's 30, actress. Hector Bellerin, soccer player, is 29. I don't know this guy. Is this like a legitimate rapper? Bun B. He is 51. Never heard of him. Born Bernardo Freeman. He's a Texas-born rapper, member of the rap duo UGK, who was known for his Southern-style rap. His third okay, so this is like a local rapper in that area. So not really a national guy, unless maybe some of you hardcore rappers may know him. I don't know. I've never heard of him in my life. Clayton Kershaw, by the way, he's 36. Wyatt Earp was born in this date in 48. We lost him in 1929. And that is your list of birthdays today in music and entertainment history. Let's go with music history. Why don't we? Ooh, wait a minute. I think I did not do that right. Okay, wait a minute here. Okay, now let's give you the music history. Today in 1982, Ozzy Osbourne's guitarist and former Quiet Riot member Randy Rhoads was killed when the plane he was riding crashed. Wow. So that means that 82 and so 42 years ago on this day, I'm depressed that Randy died. We're all depressed in rock. And 2 days later, we're in the Orange Bowl for the Rock Super Bowl, and Ozzy's not playing and replaced with Pat Travers and UFO. Foreigner was the headliner for Foreigner 4. They were the headliner. Ozzy was the second. And there was a little unknown act, some Canadian dude. I don't know. I think his name was Brian Adams. Absolutely unknown, way before Cuts Like a Knife. Cuts Like a Knife had not come out yet at that time. Cuts Like a Knife comes out like right after that, like a year after, actually, on MTV and everything. And so I remember this vividly because I never got to see Randy Rhoads. I've seen everything and anything that there is on video with him and Ozzy, which is great. But my daughter gave me a Randy Rhoads gift. Did I show it to you guys? This was for Christmas, I think it was. This is my daughter, by the way. Christmas. So I have to build the back. I haven't done that yet. And I got all these Funko Pops and everything that I got to like unleash. So she got me a Robert Smith pop. I don't know if I showed you guys this. Then she got me this was somebody else. I'm sorry. A friend of mine got me my Aaron Ekblad. That's not hers. She got me a gaming mouse, but I don't game, but it's just a cool mouse. I haven't started. I have an Iron Man one. So, I haven't replaced it yet. She got me Spaceman. So, little Space Ace, right? These are all the things that'll be in display there. And then, speaking of Randy Rhoads signature guitar. So she knows I'm a huge Randy Rhoads guy. So she bought me a replica mini Randy Rhoads guitar, and it comes with its own guitar stand and everything. It's really cool. So it'll be on display eventually when I'm able to do it all. So speaking of Randy Rhoads, I'm a little bit of a Randy Rhoads fan. It still bothers me to this day, 42 years later, that I did not have the pleasure and the honor of watching Randy do his thing live, dude. It kills me. I hate it, to be quite honest. So that's a cool daughter right there. Anyway, so we continue. There you go. That's my Randy Rhoads moment for you all. In 71 on this day, Jethro Tull released their fourth studio album, Aqualung, Sitting on the Park Bench. In 2001, Queen, Aerosmith, Michael Jackson, Steely Dan, and Paul Simon were musicians inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, all deserving. In 74, Jefferson Airplane was renamed Jefferson Starship. Jane. Love that song. In 2002, a flight attendant testified REM guitarist Peter Buck's trial for air rage. She claimed she was scared to death that the rocker might stab someone after hiding a knife up his sleeve during an alleged in-air rampage on a British Airways flight. Buck was later acquitted. Wow. Must have been on some dope or something. In 70, David Bowie married Angie Bowie. They divorced in 1980. 10 years. In 2002, the Strokes got into a fist fight with a record executive in Paris. The RCA employee was trying to make the exhausted group appear on a TV show when singer Julian Casablancas allegedly hit him. You got to do what you got to do sometimes. That's what happens. And that's what happened today in music history. By the way, Wednesday, the Powerball jackpot will be now worth an estimated $687 million after 0 players matched the numbers during the $645 million drawing on Monday. The numbers were 10, 17, 20, 39, and 44. So, you know what you got to do. Get it done. Get her done. Get her done. What else do we have? Oh, yes. Do we want to mention this? Let me show it to you guys. A couple things we got to show you, right? Let's get into showing you guys a couple of things here. ELO will be touring, and this will be Jeff Lynne's final tour. If you happen to be an ELO fan, I'm telling you, go see it. Just go to YouTube and go watch ELO Live 2022, 2021, or whatever it is, right? Lately, you'll see how they sound. His band is phenomenal. His voice sounds great. No South Florida dates. You're going to have to travel. I'm kind of eyeing that Atlanta date is one that I kind of say, that Atlanta October 12th wouldn't be too bad. That would be a great place to go and check it out. Maybe Houston, October 16th. Something in this close to the southern part, maybe Texas, something like that. So I'm kind of eyeing that, but I got to take the wife. She's never seen ELO and she likes ELO and their music is amazing. So I'm telling you, if you're an ELO fan, you definitely want to go see this last tour. Buy the tickets. Do whatever you have to do, man. Okay? Let's see, what else do we have here? Any of you ever play some of you are too young, but maybe you've played it anyways because they have the older games on video. There used to be a game called Track and Field. Do you remember that video game, Sean? Track and Field, right? The two buttons and you would run and hit to jump and all that. Well, there's a real life track and field. There we go. All right, let's do it again. Let's run it again. See? One guy hit the button and got the right trajectory. The other guy, he didn't get nearly as much. You see what I'm saying? Anybody that played track and field, right? And I feel like track and field, right? Because now they slow motion it, which is what happens in track and field. When you hit it, it's slow motion. I mean, seriously, let's all do it. Oh, I did it too early. Too early. But there you go. For those of you that like to play track and field, it's there for you. How about that? Now, I know that you guys like checking out podcasts, and podcasts are, the thing nowadays. Well, my suggestion to you is there's a new podcast that's coming out, and you should tune in to that new podcast because I'm telling you, bro. Listen, Caitlyn Jenner and Lamar Odom are launching a new podcast. Things the Kardashians have done to us. I think that's the title. Right? Or we both ended up on crack. I don't know. Which one? I think they're deciding, I'll go with the latter, personally. It's pretty accurate. Okay? I'm just saying, listen, if you guys want to really enjoy a quality broadcast, not this shit that you're watching right now, that right there, Caitlyn Jenner and Lamar Odom. How to end up on crack. Yeah. It's just, these are things that are developing. I just got to make sure you guys know about the Receiver Show. I think you got to know about this podcast. I mean, I think it's important. This is important information that we are providing here for you guys. Now, if you are going to travel and you are on a Boeing 737 and you are next to the door, well, there is some new gear that you need to wear. And this gentleman right here is prepared for it. He's got a helmet set to go to kind of control the air when he's up in 30,000 feet that he gets sucked out. He's got the parachute on, right? So this guy is, and he's looking at the door the entire time. So he's focused. So if you are going to get on a Boeing, I suggest you follow this man's lead. It's important to be prepared in life for anything, especially a flight on a Boeing jet. So there you go. Boeing jets. Tell you. Freaking amazing. Oh, by the way, Joshua Dobbs signing with the Niners, that's not going to save him. He's still going to suck. The NFL has announced, I guess it's, Sean, wasn't it Dolphin fans worried that they were headed to Brazil? Right? Don't we have like the rights to Brazil or some shit like that? Well, it's the Browns and the Eagles to start off the regular season in 2024. Browns and Eagles will be kicking it off in Brazil. So those of you that were kind of worried about it, no international games this year. Sean, you don't have to get up at 6 a.m. or 5:30 to go do a pregame show. How about that, young man? Good for you. I'm happy for you. But, some of our listeners want you to work from 7 till 7 at night now. Is that all right with you, Sean? Yeah, no, I don't think so. It's not flying with him. Not convincing. By the way, Deshaun is going to be loose. Deshaun Watson's going to be loose in Brazil. Deshaun Watson looking for massage in all the wrong places, looking to get rubbed in all kinds of spaces. This is not good. I don't know if Cleveland should go to Brazil. Deshaun Watson, that's like, about 40 women would end up pregnant if you sent Tyreek there. Deshaun Watson, wow. Oh, man. I don't know. Masseuses in Rio, be careful. Be careful who calls you. That's all I got to say. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Why don't we? Alan Blanco and the great people at 3A Graphics, custom printing and embroidery. Heat last night lost to the Sixers 98-91. Wednesday, they're in Cleveland at 7 o'clock. The Panthers, they're off till Thursday. They'll be at Amerant Bank Arena. They will host Nashville. Tonight, NSU continues their tournament play. They're 29-2, 18-2 in the conference. They've won 17 in a row. They're 19 at home, 19-0 at home. Tonight at 7, Nova will host Florida Southern College. Good luck to the Sharks. Messi will miss the next 2 games with Argentina, the friendlies in Philly and LA on the 22nd and the 26th with a hamstring strain. Inter Miami, will take on the Red Bulls of New York on Saturday at 2 o'clock. Robert Taylor, by the way, good news, will not play with the Finnish team. So he is staying here with Inter Miami, and that is great freaking news that they keep Robert Taylor because he plays well off of the Stars. So I like that for Inter Miami. Plus, they need him because Messi's not always going to be available. You know what I mean? So great stuff there. Please call if you're looking for uniforms, hats, shirts, magnets, calendars, whatever it is you need for your business, your club, your school, whatever. 3A Graphics. They know how to get it done. Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. All right. There you go. Oh, man. Right. We spoke with David Furones and Manny Navarro. So you can check those out, those interviews out. Let me see. From where is a bunny ranch is somewhere, and I don't know where, but I think it's like a couple of hours out of Vegas. You got to drive because prostitution is not legal in Vegas. Okay. Prostitution is legal in other counties not Vegas. What is Vegas? Carson County, I think it is, or something. I'm not exactly sure, but it's in a couple of other counties where they have the Bunny Ranch and the Chicken Ranch and all those other ranches that whatever they're famous for. That and those places, that's where it's regulated and it's legal and all that kind of stuff. If you do it in Vegas, it's illegal. Okay, just so you know, it's not legal in Vegas. It's illegal in Vegas. Anyway, but yeah. I'd rather listen to Yoko Ono for 48 hours on repeat than listen to that. Are you serious? You don't think Caitlyn Jenner, I'm sorry, and Lamar Odom is some fantastic stuff? And think about the story about how we both ended up on crack. That's fantastic. If you can bring back one artist from the grave, who would it be? Jimi Hendrix, bro. Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix. Jimi Hendrix. That's the no-brainer of no-brainers for me. I don't even have to think about it. That's like right off the bat. And I know I never got to see Randy, but I never also got to see the GOAT. So I want to see the GOAT, man. You know? I want to see the man. The best of all time. The guy that, you know, the centerpiece of really rock guitar is that dude right there. In my eyes, you know? So yeah, I give anything to see Jimi Hendrix, dude. God, get one of those time machines. Not a I'll take the hot tub, you know, but then yeah, give me that. Definitely. What else do we know? He won't know the difference between women and trans women in Brazil. Well, I mean, but at least the women who get pregnant. The trans can, obviously. Send Tyreek and X there and you could start a new city. Probably. Yeah. Yeah. True Fin Fan says, I wake up Monday through Wednesday and Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4:30, Tuesdays at 3:30, finish my day Monday and Friday at 6 p.m. My eyes are open at 5 a.m. with no alarm. I do what I have to do in order to provide. Wow, that is monstrous, bro. Monstrous. For you, it's Jimmy. Well, you know, it's only one, Ryan. You don't get to bring back Kurt if you bring back Jimmy. You don't get to bring back Jimmy if you bring back Kurt. You only get one. No fence straddling. One. And you too, Sam. One. You only get Chuck or you only get Jimmy. You only get one. You guys want to cheat. Big O, mind if we call you Medium O? Now that you've dropped 30, moving towards Little O eventually. You know, it's funny. Every time I've lost weight, they've done that to me every time. Medium O and Little O. Every single time. I saw the Marlins predictions. They got them at 78 games. I don't even think they'll win that. With the injuries and the pitching staff. Wow. God, it sucks that I can't even look forward to the baseball season. I'm just looking forward to pain, pretty much. That's what I'm looking forward to. Pain for baseball. How nutty is that? By the way, Cutter's Edge Pro, we love talking about William Quigley and the great people at Cutter's Edge Pro. If you are looking for landscaping and you want to, remember, once you add landscaping to your home, you increase the value of your home. I think most of you know that, but if you didn't, now you do. And your HOA complex, your business. And listen, your business, when you add the landscaping, there's just more presence to everything. And some of you may have landscaping and you need some help on the maintenance side. Cutter's Edge Pro is the best at everything. From creating it, designing it, to maintaining it. They do it all for you folks. And whether it's tree trimming and removals, landscape design, outdoor lighting, irrigation design and build, synthetic turf, which if you own dogs, it is the blessing of all blessings. 954-472-0622. That's 954-472-0622. Reach out. Talk to Will, talk to Mike, all the great people out there. Hibeto is just a great dude also. You'll run into him on the. He's one of the guys that goes to your home or your business, and just great people there. Cutter's Edge Pro, family-owned business. Check it out, 954-472-0622 or cuttersedgepro.com, and go to their Instagram page because you're going to see a lot of great examples there at Cutter's Edge Pro. Big O, the other artist I would bring back from the dead, Cliff Burton from Metallica. Okay, interesting. Big O, your prediction for this coming Marlins season, pain. Yes, it's all Mr. T. Yeah, I think they're going to hover around the 100 losses. That's what I think is going to happen. They'll be in the 60s somewhere. I don't think they get to 100, but, they win like 66, 68 games or something, something like that. They'll be flirting with 100. That's kind of the way I look at it. What else do we have? I don't think we have anything new on the Dolphins side. I will tell you this, folks. There's a couple things I'm looking forward to this season with the Dolphins. And I know people complain about Poyer's age, but I still think he has enough in him. Just like Shaq Barrett, I think he has enough to give you a season. And if you get Chubb and Phillips throughout the year, if one of them even starts the season, then you could start a rotation eventually, and you can even keep Shaq Barrett, who's got a little years on him, fresh too, with rotating. So I'm actually one of the ones, I know they got to stay healthy, and I know you got to get Chubb and Phillips back and all that, but I'm super excited that if you do get them back and Shaq is playing well, and I know he's not going to be the guy he was 4, 5, 7 years ago. I get all of that. But if he can be serviceable and give you 5 to 7 sacks and some pressures, I think he'll be all right. I think he'll be serviceable. You know what I mean? But I'm excited because that could create a nice little rotation. And then I don't know what happens with 21. Could be another edge rusher to add to that rotation. Okay? It's all possible. Really is. And then the other thing that I'm really looking forward to also is the Poyer-Holland combination. Because Poyer at 32, some people think he's too old, but I think he's young enough to complement Holland, where Holland doesn't have to carry everything, you know what I'm saying, and be the center fielder and worry about absolutely everything. And then Poyer can also pass on knowledge to him. Which to me, that's the part that I think people are underestimating. The year that Holland can have with Poyer can be priceless. Not just to help him as a player, to help the team be better. And he's a South Florida kid, so he's super motivated to play well here and show off for his local team. You know what I mean? And he's going to be super motivated against those 2 Bills games too. But I think he's going to be a lot of good for Javon Holland. A young safety that I think is a freaking stud and a half. Tough guy. Excuse me. Tough guy. And I think just, experience along the way is the only thing that Javon Holland needs, because he's not, fully grown yet mentally. So, I'm looking forward to it. I don't care what anybody tells me, man. I am looking forward to it. I think it's a couple of additions. I'm looking forward to our linebacker room, watching these linebackers, and especially when they're fully healthy. I know that on the defensive tackle spot, you probably didn't improve. You hope to be the same, or maybe you took a slight step back. But at linebacker, I think you improved. I think you improved in the secondary. So there are certain things that I think are improving. You have a lot of variety on the offensive line too. Replacing Robert Hunt won't be easy, but I'm not overreacting on the offensive line. Why have I told you? Because you don't do that. Because you wait. Because names that you will never expect end up showing up and becoming players in the offensive line. So I'm going to hold off to wait on that one, because they know how to coach that position up. So outside of defensive tackle, I'm not really as concerned, and I'm really happy with the way they've turned over the roster. And considering I know what you're focused in on next year, not this year, it all makes sense. So I'm really looking forward to this so far. I like where it's going right now. We'll see what happens as the season starts and plays out and all that good stuff, and then we'll get happy or hurt. I get it. Watson won't find out until their voice deepens to Barry White. There you go. Your thoughts on Richmond Webb not making the Hall of Fame? I feel it's truly a shame. Yeah, it is. He's supposed to be in the Hall of Fame, but they didn't win anything. They didn't go deep enough into the playoffs often. And so that's the problem with that team. And that's where guys get hurt. And that's why it took so long for Zach to get the respect he deserves. So it's a crime that Richmond Webb is not in the Hall of Fame because he was a Hall of Fame tackle. Hall of Fame tackle. Not only was he good, very dependable. Very dependable. He was always available. That, my friends, is awesome. All right. We are out of here. We thank David Furones and Manny Navarro as always. We thank Sean Stanley, the man that masters this entire platform every single day. We thank all of you for tuning in and reaching out here and supporting our show, however it is you do, visiting our great sponsors like Cutter's Edge, making a donation, watching and watching and watching, and watch time is always important. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share the link. We love you all. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon live from the Youth Fair at 4 o'clock.